Good evening and welcome to a beautiful night here in southwestern Ontario, the city of Windsor, Ontario, the campus of St.Clair College, the 115th edition of the Canadian Bowl, the CJFL season coming to an end tonight. One of these teams will suffer their first defeat of the year. Good evening, everybody. My name is Dominic Papa, and welcome to our pregame show. Of course, with me, the doctor of football, Badia Quas. Doesn't get any more exciting than this, folks. Two outstanding football teams. And I'll tell you what, the excitement around here already in the stadium before the game, it's already electric here. Badee, what an atmosphere we already have here tonight.
Phenomenal. Kudos to the entire conference and namely St.Clair College for putting together an atmosphere. Things have been active all day long for some of the youngsters and the student body here. There's some games in the concourse area. It is wonderful atmosphere to host this 115th National Championship game.
Yeah, already, it's older than the Grey Cup, Badee. I found that out. I was doing a little research this week, and I didn't realize it was older than the Grey Cup. So quite a significant championship to win, a beautiful trophy to win. And, both these teams have won it. It's been a while for St. Clair, formerly the AKO Fratman, but Okanagan just a couple years ago won a national title, and they're already back in the national title game.
Yeah, and these are two storied programs. The history, the longevity, the championship pedigree, the conference championship pedigree. Both teams deserve to be here, and as you said, they're coming in undefeated. Both teams are capable of having great games. They have great players across the board. I'm sure at some point we'll be talking about all the All-Stars and All-Canadians throughout the broadcast. The reality of it is the two best teams, I believe, in the country are playing here today, and I'm looking so forward to calling this game.
Yeah, you're going to do an outstanding job along with our play-by-play voice, Justin Prince, that's for sure. Let's take a look first at the Okanagan Sun and how they got here. A great run, again, perfect 13-0 up to this point. Another tremendous season for them. In round one, a 50-19 win over Valley Huskers. Then in the BCFC finals, a tight one over West Shore. No surprise there. Again, great conference. They defeat the Rebels by 6. And then it was in the semifinal, they win against Regina in Regina. So they're road tested here, Badee. But what a year for this team, the Okanagan Sun. Again, a perfect 13-0 up to this point. They come in obviously with a lot of confidence here. They rightfully so should have a lot of confidence.
100%. They have that national championship history already from a couple years ago. There's several holdovers from that game playing today. They've already made a long travel. Like you said, they went to Regina last week. So making a back-to-back weeks of long travels, these athletes are ready mentally, physically. They've already went through that already. So the experiences that they're going to use over the last couple weeks and couple seasons, I guarantee you Okanagan's going to be ready. Impressive season. A very good win. West Shore is a very good football team, and they beat them in their conference final by, 6 points? A very, very closely contested game. Even last week's game was only by 2 scores. So they are battle-tested, and they have earned every ounce of it, and they should come out ready to play the OFC Conference champions.
At the helm of this machine is head coach Travis Miller. He knows what it takes. I had a chance to talk to him about this game and the season. It's here, the Canadian Bowl. The Okanagan Sun have made the trip across Canada to take on the St. Clair Saints, the 115th edition of the National Junior Final. The Okanagan Sun, this is their 10th appearance in the Canadian Bowl. They've won 3 Canadians, most recently in 2022. The head coach, Travis Miller, was part of that. Looking for another one. Thanks for doing this with us, Coach, and welcome back to Windsor. You were here a couple years ago for the semifinal game. Does that help you? That must help you a little bit, knowing what to expect that you have been here.
Yeah, I mean, Windsor and St. Clair in particular is a great host. It's an incredible facility that you guys have here, and it's always a pleasure to come anywhere in Canada and play football, but this is definitely a point that we all enjoy and enjoyed it last time in 22, and the hospitality that we have so far has been awesome.
Good to hear that, Coach. Let's talk about your team. An incredible year, actually. Perfect 13-0. We know how tough it is to win out west. That part of the country just really has a lot of top-notch junior football. Talk to me about the season, how the peaks and valleys of it, and how you got here.
Yeah, we have a very young team. I think our average age right now is 19.8, which is pretty young in terms of junior standards. So it's been a really cool experience from a coaching perspective. lots of maturity, lots of changes. The team has done an incredible job of rallying, through adversity throughout the season. We had a lot of close games throughout the year, and that didn't change into the playoffs. We had some battles with Chilliwack and West Shore, and on to Regina. So for us, it's just been a season of learning and growth, and just maximize the potential of the guys that we have, and it's been a great season so far.
You say that there's been ups and downs a little bit, but you're 13-0. I mean, did this team grow throughout the season, Coach? And right from the get-go, did you think you can get to the Canadian Bowl?
You know what? We set the goal of the BCFC Championship as our goal to start the season, as we do with every season. That's kind of the starting point for us, and the ending point is wherever we go. And so our team could have been easily 6-4 during the regular season. We had some really close battles with VI and West Shore, a couple come from behind victories, with Langley and some other teams. In the BCFC, the parity amongst those teams is really close. And it's the same, in the PFC too. I know Regina and Saskatoon had a lot of battles together. So our game in Saskatoon was a lot closer than I think that score dictated, and it was a pretty impressive game. So it's been a lot of fun with this group, and really developing the team chemistry that we have, and maturing these kids throughout the season.
Obviously, you have the experience, Coach Miller, of winning a Canadian Bowl. You know what it takes. This team, does it have? I mean, hard not to compare, right? This team compared to that team a couple years ago. Does this team have it?
This team in 2022 are definitely different. I try not to look backwards, to look forward. So it's hard to compare a team from 2 years ago to the team that we have today. The team that we have today is an impressive group, very talented. Obviously, we have a phenomenal offense led by our running back, El Ellie and Noah, and our defense led by Jacob Bond and a host of other people, Kenley Williams and some others. So it's been great to see the growth that they've had throughout the season, and see what they've done up to this point. And obviously tomorrow will dictate where we're at.
Yeah. How do you keep the team? I mean, you won your championship last week against Regina, a tough game there. Getting ready for this, what was that like, the week of practice? And just keeping the guys, I mean, I'm sure they're focused, but just making sure that, everything's precisely, in place and what you want.
Sure. So our group, I mean, I'm sure with any team, trying to keep kids of 18 to 22-year-olds locked in for 14 straight days is difficult. So we were lucky that we played our game on a Sunday in the Western Championship there, and we're fortunate enough that we took some time off to let the guys heal up and relax. We've been in camp now for 10 days straight, and going on 11 tomorrow. We've practiced every single day. We've done a lot of film, a lot of walkthrough stuff to make sure the guys are great. The nice thing is with this group here is that they're very confident, very ready to roll in terms of executing on a daily basis, which is always nice, and they've been locked in from day one. So.
I'm 100. I'll bet everything on this one, Coach. That I'm sure you've watched a lot of the St.Clair video.
Yeah.
You know this team inside out. You know Coach Lachance now for a couple of years since playing against them. Then, your thoughts about your opponent, St.Clair, and what's going to be key for your team, playing against them in this game.
Yeah, St.Clair is the #1 team in the country. I don't think there's any two ways around it. They're an impressive group. That defensive line is something else. I've never seen a defensive line like that. The offensive line is giant, 6'5", 300 pounds across the board. And, obviously Soja, their quarterback, is an impressive guy. I know MJ Doyle Marshall from his time in Alberta and how good he is. I can't say enough good things about what Coach Lachance and Coach Morency have done with that program. And, from our standpoint, we're hoping to match their intensity, because I know they're going to come out firing. And you look at what that offense has done, and that defense has a number of shutouts. It's very impressive. So from our standpoint, we're obviously a young team, and we're hoping to match the intensity of that veteran group that's over there, and put on a good show for everybody that's going to be here.
Obviously, back home, I'm hearing about big watch parties and things like that. The Okanagan Sun are a big part of the community there. Does that add to the pressure, a little bit of the pressure here, or win or lose, will the fans be satisfied with what's been accomplished?
Yeah, we have, I would argue, the best fans in Canada. I know every team probably feels that way. And in terms of us, we have thousands of fans at all of our home games. We pack our stadium, the Apple Bowl, full of people. Financially and both just support-wise within the community, we're very well supported by our fans and our group. And you can't ask for anything more than that. I think whether win or loss or draw or however it turns out tomorrow, I think we'll have our fans supporting us one way or another. And over the past 43 years that we've been around, we've had that support, and I'm sure we'll have it going forward. So
The weather's unbelievably good right now here in the southwestern region. Did you guys bring some of this stuff from BC with you, or what? Is that part of the game plan?
Yeah. It's been pretty cold out west. It's been we had some minus days. We were in the low 4s and 3s, and we were all bundled up the last couple of weeks out on the field. So it's a beautiful day, sun's shining, and it's obviously a great day for football, and we're excited about it.
Coach, really appreciate your time. Congratulations on everything up to this point. And obviously the last few years you've done a great job. So continued success to you in the club, and go easy today, though. Okay, we need one here bad, but good stuff. Yeah. That's Coach Travis Miller doing an outstanding job with this Okanagan Sun program. They're going to be tough, no question about it. We'll take a break and come back with the pregame show. You're watching the Canadian Bowl Championship on We Digital Productions. Not hard to see why the Okanagan Sun are successful. Head coach Travis Miller, outstanding, very focused and very respectful towards this Saints team. And I'm sure I know Coach LaChance of the Saints feels the same way about Coach Miller. But this team, it starts at the top, as they say, but you can see why Okanagan is as good as they are.
Absolutely. The one thing that impressed me so much is just the humility, understanding that his team might be young, and his team, they haven't really won anything yet. And the idea is they're here to play, they're here to compete in a national championship, and they're giving all the respect needed to the whole organization for St.Clair. And that, they want to win, and they want to treat their opponent with the respect. And when you have that kind of attitude as a coach, your players don't have any complacency. And that's ultimately, I'm assuming, his goal. He wants his players to come out and, as he said, match the intensity, bring that level up, maybe use the home energy to their benefit, because he's used to playing in front of big crowds as well in the BC conference.
On the flip side, the St. Clair Saints, of course, an outstanding season themselves. A lot of all-stars recently named off this squad that Badi alluded to a little bit earlier. Again, they have a great leader in themselves there with head coach Mike LaChance, who has won a lot of football games. He's won a lot of championships. The one that he hasn't won, well, he did win one actually in '99 as an assistant with the Fratmen, but at the helm, he's yet to win the Canadian Bowl. I know he'd love to get his hands on that one. Coach LaChance and I had a chance to chat. Well, first, before we go to that, let's take a look at St. Clair's road to the championship here. Of course, they had to bye in the first round of the playoffs in the OFC. In round 2, they took on the Ottawa Sooners. Very hard-fought game, 34-6. Ottawa, a very physical team. In the finals, boy, did they ever crank it up. Matt Gwinnett came off the bench to fill in for Maurice Soja. And boy, did he ever do a job. 75-39, they beat the Beefeaters. They're a perfect 10-0 this season, Badi. I know a lot of people say the competition level hasn't been there, but you still got to play the games. You still got to win the games. And when they did, they were impressive.
100%. And you know what? Yes, you have to win the big one. And there's going to always be the question marks. And I know the entire coaching staff. I've spoken to them. They all want this. Everybody in this entire community wants this. St. Clair students want this. Every football fan in Windsor wants this. The reality of it is you still have to do it. So, yes, the expectation is to do it. And, yes, there is going to be some doubt from some people because the most recent history has said they were unable to do it. That being said, when you are that dominant, you have to be dominant, and they proved that. Record-setting offense, record-setting defense, 75 points in a final against their rival. London is a good football team, but to go up and down the field and put that much with a backup quarterback, as you said, Matt Gwinnett came out and played phenomenal, and they didn't have MJ Doyle-Marshall, the best running back in this conference, I believe. The reality of it is, all of that is done. Today is the day where they have to showcase that talent to the entire country.
Did catch up with Coach LaChance, had a good conversation with him, got his thoughts about tonight's game. Let's go to that. Well, here we are, Coach LaChance. We're knocking on that door for a few years now. Your foot's back in the door. You got a shot at a national championship. Just talk to me about the week, how it's been leading up to this, and game day now.
Yeah, It's a surreal moment almost, especially to have it at home. Last year we went on the road for the semifinal game in Saskatoon. Obviously we like the weather here a little bit better, so that's an advantage right away. But to host the national championship at St.Clair College is something that we really have been looking forward to for a few years. This is the time of year that you want to be in. You want to be one of the last two teams playing at this time. And I kind of reminded the guys of that the last 2 weeks because we've had the extra week of prep. So it's been 2 weeks of prep, and every night reminding the guys that, hey, you've earned it, you deserve it. You're one of the two teams left playing in the country. And just relish every moment of this one and bring your best out on Saturday night.
For you and your coaching staff, Coach, you've been, as I said, knocking on this door. You've gone to the semis a couple of years in a row now. A couple of years ago against this Okanagan team, which was played here, of course. I'm sure, with everything you've done and putting in your recruiting and putting the pieces together, no doubt that you understand what it takes to win this national championship. This year's team, I think, fair to say, maybe giving you your best shot.
This is the most talented team I've been the head coach of. So it's been 21 years. This is my best team. This is the best team I can remember in our area for junior football since the '99 squad. So it's a really talented team, a very deep team. We're still really young. Most of our guys return next year, but a lot of seasoned guys in there to mix in. So it's a good mix of youth and veteran guys. We've got size, we've got speed, we've definitely got motivation. So we should be ready to go. But you know what? On game day, they gotta come out and play. They gotta play their best because it's gonna take that to win this one.
Quickly go through the season, Coach Lachance. Again, a pretty dominant year for the Saints. Saw a lot of great execution. Saw a little bit of adversity through injuries, and the team seemed to handle that well. How good was the season, and how has it helped you get ready for this one?
Oh, it was an outstanding season. I mean, the accolades are plentiful when it comes to all Canadians and players of the year, so on and so forth. So we really got our just due that way. We obviously ran the table. We won a lot of games big, much to some people's chagrin. We won a lot of games big. And we did find a little adversity. We found a little adversity in Ottawa. They really pushed us to the limit going into the second half of that game. We had a couple major injuries. I mean, we played our OFC final without the Offensive Player of the Year, the Special Teams Player of the Year, the starting running back. So we really had to utilize our depth in kids like Matt Gannett. We knew that he would be great in that game, and he stepped up and did exactly what he was supposed to do. Jesse Barella stepped up in that game and did what he was supposed to do. So these depth pieces really came into effect, and they got everyone a chance to see not only what the future is going to look like, but just how good this team really is, 1-75. But this one, we got everybody back, so we're really excited about that. Pretty much everybody's back. Gami Kazadi's still the only one not being able to play this week that was injured, which is too bad because, I mean, obviously he's an impact guy, but at this time of year, everybody's banged up. I'm sure Okanagan's got a little bit of guys nicked up too.
Talk to me about your counterpart, Coach Miller of Okanagan. These programs have been very successful, and you and Coach Miller have been at the helm at both of them for a while now. He's very respectful of what you and Coach Morency have done. Your thoughts about him?
Yeah, Travis Miller is one of the best coaches, if not the best coach in the country. We saw that firsthand when we played him in 2022, a very well-prepared team. You can tell by the way they approach everything from their warm-up to mid-game adjustments that they know what they're doing there. He's got a really deep staff. Shane Beatty's back on staff, and he's a veteran guy. So we're gonna have it tough. We've got to be really cognizant of that on the sidelines, that our punches are going to be met by counter punches, and we're going to have to adjust on the fly more than we have this year. I think this is the best team that we've played. I think it's the best coaching staff that we've coached against. And I say that with all due respect to the teams that we've played, but this one's just a different animal. Coach Miller does a fine job there every year.
Has the preparation been any different game, Coach? Because it is a national championship. Obviously, that makes it a little bit different. But is it, or do you just try to keep it, status quo and work on the things that your team is capable of doing and just perfecting that?
A little of both, really. I mean, we are who we are, and that's what we have to be good at. I think that the coaches that make mistakes are the ones that really try to change too much in the big moments. We know who we are at this point. It's been 10, 11 games. They've been 12 games, and they're going to be exactly who we saw on tape all year. They're going to have a few adjustments to what we do. We have a few adjustments to what they do. We have some things in the tank that we really haven't shown much that we'll bring out for a game like this. But at the same time, it's just, like I said, that we know the personality of our team and our coaching staff, and we're going to just try to do what we do at the best of our ability. I think the only difference for prep-wise is when you get a game like this, the condensed roster is only 40. So unfortunately, it's 40. I wish it was bigger because we really utilize our depth on special teams, but the special teams will be chock full of guys who normally aren't there, but they're starters on offense and defense, so you've got to get them up to speed. Coach Green's really, our special teams coordinators really had it tough because he's trying to get new guys, even though they're super talented kids, they're trying to get into roles that they haven't been in for a while.
Kind of ironic, Coach LaChance, that, and you alluded to it a little bit earlier, 25 years ago since the then AKO Fratman won a national championship against the Okanagan Sun. That's the last Canadian championship. Wouldn't that be nice to create that headline again?
Yeah, and there's some fun differences because I was on that staff. Obviously, a much younger, thinner, more dark-haired coach.
Still good looking, Coach. Still good looking. It's okay.
Appreciate that. I was actually on the booth in that game. I was on the headsets on the opposite end of the headsets that I am now, as a receivers coach and an assistant offensive coordinator, helping to map that one out. But it was certainly a fun day, and we won a really tight one against the super talented Okanagan team at Old Windsor Stadium. Yep. And the differences are there, but there's some fun similarities. We're in the fourth year of a 4-year stretch in the OFC where we're undefeated. We were in the fourth year of a 4-year stretch where we're undefeated in that one. We've got a veteran quarterback who's playing his last game, who's an MVP of the league. We had a veteran quarterback in his last game who's MVP of the league. We're playing the Okanagan Sun then, and we're playing them now. So there's a lot of fun similarities with it. We had our struggles in 96, 97, and 98. Certainly, if you ask any of the coaches, including Coach Bloomfield, Coach Duquette, all those guys that were on staff, we thought we really could have won a couple of those years, 2 or 3 of those years, and made a dynasty out of it. But it was tough. You're playing teams like Regina and Saskatoon and Okanagan, and these guys are the real deal. We've had it the last few years. You mentioned that we lost Okanagan a couple years ago, 42-24 on this field. It was a tough go, and then last year we got whacked pretty good in Saskatoon, and we thought we had a great team. So those checkbacks to reality were there in both 99 and now in 2024. So the similarities are there, and I hope the biggest similarity is raising that trophy at the end of the game.
Yeah, that'd be a nice one. That's for sure.
Yeah.
Lastly, Coach, obviously this is home. This is home for the Saints. They've made it. They've created a big advantage. I know the guys love this place. The crowds have been outstanding. This place is going to be packed. It's going to be rocking. They have fixed this stadium up it's incredible what they've done. I think, one, that's maybe an advantage for you, but yeah. 2, how excited to bring this game to the fans, and what do you think it's going to be like? How do you think it's going to affect the team?
We are super excited to have home field advantage. I think we truly do have the greatest home field advantage in the CJFL. I mean, weather aside, when you go out to the prairies, it's a huge advantage for them, but our crowd is really loud. I think the beautiful part about Acumen Stadium, among many things, is that there's no track. You go to places like, I played in the Apple Bowl, where Okanagan plays. It's a gorgeous old stadium, but it's got a lot of history to it, and it's really cool, but it's got a track around it. So the crowd's essentially another 20 yards, 25 yards back from the field. This crowd, where we're sitting right now in the first row, is literally right on top of the action. With the curvature of the stands, it really amplifies the sound. Our crowd will be loud. Our crowd will be really loud and into it, especially when we get going, when we get rolling on offense and defense. So if we do our part on the field, the crowd's going to be behind us, and that momentum can carry you quite a ways at this level.
Have you had the dream of the trophy, carrying it and stuff? Or?
Every day. Every day for 21 years.
All right, Coach. Well, they say dreams will come true, so
let's make it happen.
We wish you luck. Yeah, make it happen, and appreciate your time here, and I'm looking forward to talking to you at the end of the game.
Thanks, Tom. I appreciate it.
Coach Mike LaChance, as always, doing a great job with this team. My coach of the year for sure, no doubt about that. We'll have more right after these messages. Always love talking to Coach LaChance. Badi, you know Coach LaChance very well. What do you think he's going through right now as we're short time away here to kick off for this Canadian Bowl?
Natural anxiety. You want the game to start. The one thing is, and all the coaches from St.Clair said this, 2 weeks off to prepare. Okanagan did not have to sit and wait. They went to Regina, play. Now they travel in their game time. So when you have 2 weeks off, there's some challenge because you want to keep the intensity up. You don't want to get anyone hurt, but you also want to sort of take your time with things. But then, are we focused? And so there is that natural anxiety with having those 2 weeks off and then waiting for the game to start. So the reality of it is, for him, he wants to get this thing started to showcase his team.
And like we talked about in the interview, we talked about how loud it was going to be in here. It's already starting, but you could hear it. This place is going to be electric here tonight, isn't it?
Electric might not even be the word. There is so much excitement from the St. Clair student body that has adopted this team as their own. All the football community, because this is a very storied football community around here, and from just about any sports fan. Because right now there aren't a lot of teams playing games at this point in the season. So there's one game being showcased right now at the highest possible level. So I've already seen at least 40, 50 different players from various generations dating back 20 years before I played to just players who played a couple years ago already here.
All right. So we're just moments away from the opening kickoff. The Canadian Bowl is set to go here. Let's take a look at the keys to the game. These coming right from the head coaches. First for Okanagan, Badi, you can see it up here on the screen.
And when they say control the quarterback, that's more designed, I would say, for Maurice Soja, making sure he doesn't have those off-schedule plays. Now, applying pressure, that's a standard for whoever is going to be playing quarterback. If you can disrupt the rhythm and timing of the quarterback, that means he's going to end up being a little off schedule. And then, of course, consistency, no turnovers, win the field position with your special teams. All of those standard keys, very important.
All right, so you can see the sun, they're ready to go, no doubt about it. On the flip side, of course, St. Clair, they know what the keys to the game for a victory here tonight, according to Coach Mike Lachance.
Yeah, limit the run, and limit the run much like last week with Dyer. He can have his yards, but he can't just have all that he wants all the time. Make him earn everything. Special teams has to be critical. Your coverages and your returns, they've done a great job this year. And, of course, keeping the Okanagan defense off balance. Pass, run, options, boots, a little trickery, everything is on the table for tonight.
All right. So that should set you up for tonight's game. It's the 115th edition of the Canadian Bowl. All the action going to unfold right before your eyes right here at the Acumen Stadium on the campus of St. Clair College. We're going to take a timeout. When we come back, it's the national anthem, the opening kickoff, Justin Prince and Badia Kwas with all the action. You're watching the Canadian Bowl, presented by and produced by We Digital Productions.
You're looking over at the St. Clair College's esports complex as the atmosphere is electric. We're here at Acumen Stadium tonight for the 115th edition of the Canadian Bowl. The CJFL championship gets decided tonight. Justin Prince alongside Badi Quaz as it's the Okanagan Sun and the St. Clair Saints. A rematch in 1999. It's been talked about a lot throughout the pregame with John Papa. This game, a lot of energy. It's over the capacity with how much they've expanded the capacity of the stadium tonight. It should be an electric matchup, Badi.
100%. The history is dated back. I was earlier today with some coaches and players from that 99 team. It's great to see that everyone cares. This whole community is rallying behind these Saints to try to bring that glory back, that national championship glory. Coach LaChance has been quoted this week in the media, in the papers, saying that he wouldn't be coaching if he wasn't still chasing this national championship, and that's why we're here today, Justin.
We're here to determine who's the best in the nation. The Okanagan Sun, the best out of those from the West. Had some stellar running games, to say the very least, because of their offense. St. Clair's offense being introduced to the fans. They've had a contrast of an offense led by Maurice Soja in terms of his dynamic play throughout this season. So you're talking about mobile / passing for one side, running emphasized on the other.
100%. Okanagan wants to keep this game on the ground, would like to have 5 or 6 possessions. As you see in the graphic, we got a veteran crew, a couple out-of-town officials from the BC Conference, and a handful of our local referees. And just as a side note, I know that Bruce Carter, number 68, the field judge, he was also on the crew in 1999. So it just tells you how veteran, how talented, how good of a crew we have here. We welcome the out-of-town guys here to this game. At the end of the day, I know they and all us fans want the players to determine this game.
Jalen Burnett reminds those you'll have to keep an eye on. 15 tackles, 9 for loss with interception this season. He's one of the defensive keys from this season. It should be interesting defensively, too, how they match up. Both teams athletic, difficult to be able to stop, difficult to be able to try and get plays on defensively or from your offense on the defenses.
Yeah, you're looking at the Defensive Player of the Year in the conference. You're looking at a first-team All-Canadian. You're looking at a young man who can pressure the quarterback, who can play the run. It is going to be one of those situations where the big players are likely going to have to make big plays, and then who's going to be the person who steps out of the norm? Somebody who is maybe not the all-star. Somebody's going to have to step up and make an extra play.
You know who stepped up big time is the middle linebacker for the Sun, Jacob Bond. When talking with some of the staff members earlier on today, they said specifically, note him, 60 tackles. He has had multiple games with more than 10 tackles in a game, as well as a couple fumble recoveries and an interception. He's someone to put a star next to from the Suns' defensive side.
Another first-team All-Canadian. I watched some Okanagan play. I watched their game against Regina. I watched their game against West Shore. Number 19's for real. Jacob Bond is a very, very good linebacker. He can dissect, attack, hold ground, contain edge if he's asked to go outside. He can cover. Pretty dynamic, and I know that the offensive line has earmarked number 19, and they say we have to have eyes on him at all times. If we have eyes on him, you have a chance to get the run game going.
So, downfield side, get ready for the color guard. Real quickly, let's touch upon the quarterback matchup. We alluded to this a bit, not so much in the passing game. There was 2 different quarterbacks who've seen significant time this season after all for the Suns. 731 yards from Liam Kroger, who's seen the majority of the play as of late due to injuries. Maurice Soja, 23 combined touchdowns, just 3 interceptions with just under 1,700 passing yards, but has already also racked up just as much as we've seen from NJ Doyle Marshall, rushing 712 yards. You can see the differences in the gameplay, but that's alluded to in part because the Sun has focused a lot on the running game we'll touch upon in a moment.
Absolutely, and these two quarterbacks are asked to do a certain job, and now the graphic comes up for the main runners on the team.
And keep in mind, MJ Doyle Marshall, one of the top backs in the OFC, but one of the top backs, in fact, your top offensive player in the country. Eldon Noah. He has experience with Utah State as well as Boise State collegiately. 25 total touchdowns, average near 200 yards a game on the ground.
Yeah, and those numbers are staggering. They are. That's a lot of offensive production. However, MJ Doyle's numbers are quite impressive considering they didn't have to play him an awful lot back end of the game. He wasn't in for most of the second half in most of the games.
Yeah, we've seen a few different backs actually pop up a bit on top of Soja, Jesse Barella, Gage Blasco. Let's go down towards field sides. It's time for the color guard.
Nor is it lost on the Saints in the school that we will not have the freedom and choice to love and play and gather with whom we want, where we want, and when we want, without the incredible and sometimes ultimate sacrifices of the generations of great Canadians that have come before us. And for those reasons, on this Remembrance Day weekend, we ask that you please stand, if able, and observe a moment of silence to honor, respect, and remember those who have fought and continue to fight evil, tyranny, and oppression in every corner of the world to preserve our freedom and way of life. Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, you will recognize those performing our national anthem tonight from our annual Christmas Time Stay Hunger Food Bank fundraiser that takes place this year at the Coliseum at Caesars Windsor on December 20th. Gentlemen, please remove your caps as Jody Raffoul, Kelly Hockey, and Jeff Burrows of the band Saints sing O Canada.
O Canada, our home and native land, true patriot love in all of us command. With glowing hearts we see thee rise, the true North strong and free. From far and wide, O Canada, we stand on guard for thee. God keep our land glorious and free. O Canada, we stand on guard for thee. O Canada, we stand on guard for
The Saints with the performance of the national anthem here at Acumen Stadium as we get set for the Canadian Bowl once again. Reset Just Prince Petit with you on We Digital. Next up in the order, the coin toss. That'll be led by the referee, Alex Jemmy. So as we get set for that coin toss here, your quick keys to note as this continues to stay pretty hyped up for this finale. We'll see the coin toss in a moment here, Buddy.
Yeah, I think the most important thing for both teams is keep their emotions in check early. Don't get out of your character. Find your routine in the game as we throw it down for the coin toss.
Joining teams for the series coin toss, MVP Andrew Nelly. Also there, Darren Kinkel, Jim Makovich, and Tyler Hammer.
Okay, congratulations, gentlemen, on qualifying for the 2024 Canadian Bowl. That's tails. That's heads. Your call? Tails has been called. It is a tail. Would you like to choose now or defer? Deferring? You'd like the ball? Which way would you like to kick? Okay, switch.
And so the coin toss goes St.Clair for the first half, Okanagan Sun after the referral for the second half. The Sun looking to try and get another Canadian Bowl, their last since 2022. As mentioned, St.Clair's last in 1999 against this same Sun squad.
Yeah, the Okanagan Sun has had a tremendous season. 13-0 coming in after beating Regina last week. They ran through their conference at 10-0 regular season, 2 playoff games in the national semifinal. Both teams have all the stats, all the accolades, all the all-stars. I really do believe it's the 2 best teams right now contesting for the national championship. We saw it a couple years ago en route to Okanagan's actual national championship. They had to come here in the national semi. So it is a rematch from a couple years ago. Now we're going to see the Saints offense that has been tremendous all year in conference get the ball first, and we'll see if that can translate early into points for the home team. Go ahead, Justin.
I was about to say more than 61 points a game from that offense is going to be a true test. If that sort of pace happens, like we've seen in the UFC Championship, not expecting that, expecting this to be much tougher defensively.
I would expect so, and I would expect the game to be a lot slower in the sense that we know Okanagan really, really loves to run the ball. So we'll see how it plays out, but right off the get-go, I know Okanagan 100% wants to play defense first. That's why they deferred. They want to really put the test to this Saints offense. And the opening kickoff here, as both coaches alluded to in their interview, special teams are going to be critical and they're going to be keys to the game.
So coming up for the kick, it's Grady Hay, who will boot things off. The Canadian Bowl is underway from the Road City. Return from the far side, it's Cameron St. Kitts Park, diving around the 25. And St. Clair starts with decent field position as here comes the Saints offense.
Yeah, really good kick. If you can kick it outside the numbers to 1/2, really, it eliminates any kind of big return because now your coverage can anchor. And here's that offense with your Offensive Player of the Year, a second team All-Canadian quarterback. You have 2 All-Canadian offensive linemen here. I'm really looking forward to see this matchup of a balanced offense with some explosive players against a fundamentally sound Okanagan defense.
1st and 10, the ball given the spot of the 26-yard line. And the clock is not moving here. It's like the officials want to discuss things quickly here. And apparently there is somebody over the grandstands, that reason why the clock's not moving, who is flying a drone over the stadium. And this has been a concern in past matchups, mind you, at the stadium. That is one of the drones, believe, that was seen flying over for pregame for some of the social medias.
Yeah, and I believe it's a league rule that they cannot have them for maybe the national games. Conference games may have allowed them because I know other areas have.
Yeah.
But in this case, for the national level, it's not allowed.
So now the clock is moving. 3 set to the left of Soja. Soja wants to go long to start. Overthrows his man, incomplete. Had Darius France open by 2 steps.
And that right off the bat, they're going to their all-Canadian receiver, and Darius France just beat him. That was there. And that the entire stadium, they all elevated their voice, held their breath, and then gasped as they saw it. And here you have the defense. And number 19, the middle linebacker, is the person of interest. If you are an offensive personnel for the Saints, you got to have your eyes on 19 because he is a hell of a ball player.
Ahmed Borhan, also one of the defensive backs that made the first team All-Canadian nods. Many more in this matchup. France catches it past the 30. That makes it 3rd and medium. And already St.Clair in a tough spot here.
Yeah, and they're just going to run a little stop route on the outside and see if he can make Darius France be an athlete. But a good, fundamentally sound tackle came right up, contested it right away. And in this case scenario, no surprise, not a conservative play. It's what you have to do. Bring out your punt team and play the field position. See if you can cover this and pin them.
They go with St. Kitts Park as the punter. Kick past the 40. Turn now by the Sun. Across the 45, across the 50. Trying to dart around space. Jordan Falconer gets around midfield, if not just shy of it, and that gives Okanagan great field position to start their offense.
Yeah, and some of the problems that you envision not being a problem have arisen already. And you said St. Kitts Parks is the punter.
Yeah.
Some of the concerns when you drop down, it's a 40-man dress roster. And sometimes you're going to have it. And yes, you don't think that a punter is left off, but if you don't have the room because your other specials have to have it, you go to an alternative. St. Kitts Parks can punt.
They go to the running game with their dynamic back in Noah. Noah gets it up for the first down. The Suns start off with a running game already mentioned, a provincial record on the ground.
Yeah, just an inside zone running play, and it's actually a power play. I like to call it lead-o. They bring the weak side guard, and they insert him into the hole. A nice, simple design, and that is a steadfast. That is a staple in their offense. They want to feed this guy 25, 30 carries.
Couple of the motion on the step up. Finding a hole to the right, Noah getting across the 30, another first down. And already racking up near 30 yards in the first 2 plays in scrimmage.
Yeah, and this is early, like you said, early. So I know Coach Morency is going to need to make sure that his guys maintain their gap assignments. Number 70 was an All-Canadian. The Offensive Player of the Year is your running back, Noah. Just an unbelievable 25 scores, I believe you noted. Almost 1,700 yards of rushing.
Yeah. Again, a BC record for the yardage. Looking to pass. Kroger has a man wide open. End zone. Touchdown. Okanagan. A reception up the middle. Sam Noenson gets the reception.
Yeah, and that was relatively easy. Run. A little bit of action on a pump fake to the outside. Not even a run action. And you run somebody up the slot. Not a great start if you're the Saints fans or the Saints defense. The Saints offense couldn't capitalize on a big one, and Okanagan already 3 minutes in has put a major on with the ensuing extra point.
Wenson had a couple touchdowns during the regular season for the Sun. Now he helps put Okanagan up 7-0 to start. And they do so not with the running play, but with the passing.
Yeah, so they do a little pump fake to the outside on a little bit of what looked like a bubble, and you have a slot receiver just doing a skinny post. and it caught the safety flat-footed and easy pitch and catch. So you go from midfield in 3 plays, and you find pay dirt. An absolutely perfect start offensively for Okanagan. That's exactly what you want to have, a stress-free start. They got their ground game going, and a simple little easy pitch and catch for a touchdown.
Just about 3 minutes through, the Sun up by 7. A shout out to those that are now definitely cheering out in Kelowna for a watch party taking place for the Sun. Shout out to those watching along from BC tonight. Underway for the kick. St. Kitts Park tries to fake flip it. Now he finds a hole across the 30, thrown across the 35. A fake handoff initially trying to go look like maybe Calhoun. Instead, breaks ahead.
Yeah, and when you do have a great kick like that where you pin him to a corner, sometimes you have some auto actions. In this case, an auto action to a reverse, and it's going to stretch the perimeter or the coverage guys out a little bit, which might create some natural run lanes, and a nice return to the 37-yard line.
1st and 10 from that 37. MJ Doyle Marshall sets up as the back. 3 receivers to the left of Soja, 2 to his right. He looks to pass it. Throws incomplete. St. Kitts Park was the closest to it. 2nd down.
Yeah, a little miscommunication. It looked like Maurice Soja thought that the receiver, St. Kitts Park, was supposed to sit it a little wider, and he curled it into the hash. Hard to tell who was in the right or wrong there because there were some defenders on either side. Either way, falls incomplete, and 2nd and long is not where you want to be.
So it's just under 70% passing during the regular season, 68.8%. Looking to try and get second completion. Soja finding St. Kitts Park, has enough for the 1st down near center field.
And that's a really good sign. The offensive line giving him protection. In my preliminary study this week looking at Okanagan, I believe that middle of the field at around 15 yards is going to be an area that you can possibly exploit. But in order to do that, your offensive line has to give you some time, and that offensive line did a nice job allowing the play to develop and deliver a strike for the quarterback.
Well, when speaking quickly with the Okanagan staff, they did mention it was a matching their secondary with St. Clair's weapons. They match up well with the run game. MJ Doyle Marshall nowhere to go, a loss of a couple.
Yeah, and I really do believe this play was supposed to press up inside a little bit, but there was a presence from the Okanagan defense, and that forced him to bump his coverage just a little bit. And you see that how he forced that back to the outside. A really nice job by the defensive end. It looked like it was number 90 who came up for the visitors and set the edge there, Colby Delves.
That sets up 2nd and 12 from the 51. Set the 3 receivers to the right this time. Soja runs, looks, takes it himself. Out. Thrown out across the sideline around the 50. 55-yard line on the contact.
Yeah, and that was the linebacker, Bond, who looked like he was able to scrape all the way across, something that Maurice Soja all year long, his weaponry as a runner has been on point. In this case scenario, it looks like they're just going to use their all-Canadian linebacker to just trace with and track and spy the all-star quarterback as he expands the pocket and has that run pass option.
3rd and 7 from the 54. This time a bit lower and bounces off the face mask. St. Clair jumps on the football. A whiff on the catch, and St. Clair gets it.
Yeah, a risky play. The ball never got up in the air, and the return man, I like the fact that you're being aggressive, but that ball had no chance to get up to him, and it short hopped him, and sure enough, he mishandles it, and the Saints with a huge opportunity early in this game to turn an early turnover into points as they're set up at the 27-yard line.
Falconer couldn't make the play, and the Saints immediately jump on it. 1st and 10 from the 27, third of the way through the first quarter. Soja flipped over from St. Kitts Park. Here goes Calhoun. Calhoun goes out of bounds around the 13-yard line.
And I was at practice the other day, again, just doing a little bit of work to try to see what kind of wrinkles they put in. And that's one of the wrinkles there. Coach LaChance runs a little hook and lateral. He throws that hook out and he gets Calhoun coming around the outside for a nice big chunk gain, setting him up with a 1st and 10 from the 12.
So 1st and 10 just outside goal-to-go range. Setting things up with France on the outside, top of your screen. Soja calls him in. Looking to throw, but flags fly. First flags coming up.
Yeah, there was a hard count, and I saw Okanagan jump into the neutral zone first, turning that response from the offense. So I'm not sure how it's going to be called, but let's get the call from Alex Jemmy.
Offside. Offense. Number 6. It's a 5-yard penalty. Repeat first down.
So they're going to call it on the receiver, and I think he said number 6. So that would be Darius France if that was the case. And I saw inside guys jump, but they saw the receiver was the first one to breach. So an early mistake for the Saints on offense. Let's see if they can still overcome that one as they're set up in the red zone.
1st and 15 now from the 17. Soja throws out of the pressure. Throw jumps its way into said pressure in a battle for the ball. Brought down for the completion this time, Javier Lewis. And Lewis amongst the players, they say fully healthy today.
Yeah, Javier Lewis it was surprising he actually held on to this because there was pressure right in his face right away. And he had it, and his forward progress was stopped as he was stretching that out and tripping up the ball carrier, bringing up a 2nd and long here.
To reset for those tuning in, 7 minutes to go in the first quarter. St.Clair scoring a field goal moments ago from Lewis. 2nd and 15. The Sun tackled shy of the 40. This time, Tyler Craver on the reception. That makes it 3rd down and brings the special teams unit now out for the Sun.
All right, good job. You adjusted a little bit. You got a tackle for a loss on the first one. You're okay giving up 7 or 8 yards on this when it was 3rd down and about 16. So now, 2nd and 16. So now the punt unit comes in, and that's going to afford the Saints potentially pretty good field position. With an average return, they should approach midfield here.
Calhoun and Tiskowitz back this time. St. Kitts Park not on the return side this time. Punted away from the 30. Oh, and this one's whiffed on, but returned from the 25. Brought down to about the 35.
Yeah, a missed opportunity there. That was a low-line drive kick. And in that case, if you handle that cleanly, the coverage can't get by on you, can't get down to you on that. So that's one of those opportunities where had he handled that cleanly, might have been in a really, really good spot to get more than just the several yards he got. But they are set up with still pretty good field position at the 35-yard line.
First quarter flying on by here on We Digital for the Canadian Bowl. Sun up by 4 so far. 4 receivers bunched up to the top of your screen. Now they send 3 back in the motion. These are different looks than normal. Now, Soja, designed run, takes it across the 45, brought down at about the 46, 48-yard line for the first down.
Yeah, and you run this quarterback lead here, and I'm telling you right now, watch Doyle Marshall here. I'm pretty sure it was number 24. He was told, you got 19. Bond read that, saw that, but he was wiped out on that play there by a tremendous block from the running back on that lead to the edge.
1st and 10 from the 49 is the spot. And again, 3 in the motion. Receivers nearly run into each other as they go back to the ground game. Soja tries to cut ahead a little bit. Gets maybe a yard, if at all.
That's a great job by Colby Delves. He's the end, and he chased that all the way from the weak side across to the strong side run. And a tremendous job of catching. And now, good job by the rest of the Okanagan defense, forcing that to keep stretching wide and allowing the backside help to come. So they had one really successful run with the quarterback there, only to have a 1-yard loss on the very next play.
2nd and 11. Under 5 minutes to go in the first quarter. They fake the handoff. They throw it. Complete short, just shy of center field, and yet again, it's time for 3rd down. Darius France on the reception.
Yeah, and it's a good play. It's a good 7-yard play. I love the concept, but that's needed more on, let's say, a 1st down where you bring up 2nd down and short, because then you have the whole playbook open. Okanagan is so far proving to be a very capable tackling team. So all those short passes have come up and made the tackle with the first guy, and the catch after the run has been nil so far.
Lots of punts so far today, and this time they go for it. They run it with St. Kitts Park. He gets the 1st down.
And there's the special teams creating another wrinkle here. You get the turnover on the last punt. In this case, Okanagan peeled completely off. They had no semblance of a block. They were setting a flat-out return. And I don't think that was necessarily a called fake. I think with St. Kitts Parks, they're looking at that and saying to himself, look, they're retreating. We only need 4 and 5. They might have an auto for him just to read it on his own. So that just looked like, I can get this, and sure enough, he did get that.
That makes it 1st and 10 for the 47 on the trickery. Set up with one receiver to the top. Lewis this time, sent in the motion. Oh, and some issues for Soja. Picks it up, takes it for at least a couple yards. So able to at least make some lemonade for a 2nd and 8.
Yeah, but the problem was he's the one who caused the lemon.
Yes.
He's the one who mishandled the snap. It was a good snap. I think his eyes just opened up. He saw a seam right there. They must have had an auto read, something that they said we can get to this quarterback ISO, and unfortunately he was unable to handle that snap initially, but at least he turned it into some lemonade and got a 2-yard gain out of it.
2nd and 8 from the 45-yard line. 5 wide receiver look. Soja. This time dances around the pocket, tries to throw, short, incomplete, intended for Lewis. And that looked like a bit of an awkward bubble.
No, they were trying to throw back screen. They drew a little sprint out, throw back screen. I saw the lineman release, but wasn't sure if number 94, the defensive end, got his hands on the ball. It looked like it may have been tipped as the ball came up short, and that's D lineman Aaron Maseko who got his hands up in the way that may have forced that errant throw. If it was indeed tipped, either way, the punt team is back out on the field.
And this time they do boot it away. Inside the 5. Now return across said 5. Down to about the 9. This time Falconer trapped in deep field position. And here comes the Sun offense once again.
Yeah, all things considered, even though they didn't turn that punt into that punt fake, for lack of a better word there, into points, the field position is what you want to have. And they did a nice job of that possession. Started at their own 35. It ends with Okanagan at their own 9-yard line. So now the defense needs to settle in. It's going to be interesting to see if Okanagan goes right back to the run, which is their bread and butter.
They give the spot to the 10-yard line. 1st and 10. Running game. And this time it's swarmed. No place to go, 2nd down.
Yep, and that's exactly it. Swarmed is the great word for it, because the entire balance of that force unit was there to meet Noah and limit that to about a 2.5-yard gain.
2nd and about 8. Under 2 minutes to go in the first quarter of play here on We Digital. Noah sets up next to the quarterback. Groger looking to throw, throws out of trouble, incomplete. Bounced into the turf, and that makes it 3rd and 7.
Yeah, and St. Clair brought the heat, and Okanagan was maybe had a right call because they were trying to do the screen. But the pressure got there so quickly, the quarterback could not put anything on that, and it fell harmlessly for an incomplete pass. And now they're going to have to punt from their own end zone. Will they possibly concede a safety here? Not sure. It depends. Again, if you're really confident with your defense, you might just punt this away.
What do they do here for 3rd down? And they will take the safety.
And that is very, very common. I mean,
yes.
Anyone who is not a Canadian football fan, you don't necessarily know. Conceding those safeties, it's a long field. Make them go all the way back. This ball has to now go back all the way to the 35-yard line. Make them earn the entire field. Don't just give them field position at the midfield or beyond because you're punting from your own end zone. So just a very, very conservative choice. No disagreement with that in my mind. Now the offense is going to have to see if they can get maybe an explosive. They haven't taken that shot again over the top. Early on, they missed an opportunity. But the defense and special teams have closed the gap, putting them in a position where they're now only down 2.
Again, the score is 7 for Okanagan, 5 for St. Clair. 1st and 10 from the 35. 2 set in the motion this time. Now they sit in the 3rd. Stagger them out for the run. MJ Doyle Marshall, nowhere to go, trying to spin out of it. Ends up getting continuation for a loss of 1.
A nice job by the force unit. It forced MJ Doyle Marshall to sort of retrace. He got jammed up in that natural spill because the point of attack was closed down. Defense is doing a really, really nice job of taking away the primary running lane and forcing the ball carrier to bounce out.
And MJ Doyle Marshall subbed out this time for Barella. Jesse Barella now in the back for 2nd and 11. One of the final plays of this first quarter here. Soja looking, searching, steps up in the pocket, calls for blocks, runs it across the 45, all the way past center field, and there's the flag this time on the contact on the way out the sideline.
100% the right call. He was clearly 2 steps out of bounds, and the defender tried to go low into his legs, well out of bounds, and now you take the athleticism. He is such an unbelievable athlete at that quarterback position. We're going to get the tack on of 15 yards for the late hit. Here's the call.
Unnecessary roughness. Late hit. Okanagan, 15-yard penalty. 1st down.
That gives St. Clair very good field position, right back to about where they originally punted it from the 37 now. So this likely going to be the last play of the quarter. Clock moves with less than 5 seconds to go. Fake the handoff. They throw it out of the pressure. Lewis gets it at about the 30. That sets up 2nd down as that just about end the quarter. Is the spot more so the 30. Trying to get the hard count. Soja runs into Barella. Tries to run forward, gets it up for a 1st down. St. Clair moves the chains.
Yeah, you're right. It looked like there was just a little bit of movement. Not enough maybe for the penalty, but when you get a defensive line who jumps and is now flat-footed because they can't react to the snap, you end up getting that 1st down, and that's one of their defensive linemen, number 33, who made a play earlier, who looks like he's reaching for a lower leg as the medical staff comes out for the visiting son.
Dylan Remillard being checked out by the training staff. He's down at about the 25-yard line after appears to be trying to stretch out the leg.
Yeah, a hamstring, could be just a cramp, type situation where it's a hamstring cramp, and you don't have to be super fast to cramp up a hamstring, and we all know it. If you get one, it just hurts. So let's hope for his sake that's all it is. You don't want him to come, but he's walking gingerly, so I'm not sure if it's a hip all the way up there, but it doesn't look like it's a knee or an ankle.
But it's 1st and 10 from the 25 now, past a minute into the quarter. Well, it sets up as the back still. MJ Doyle Marshall still on the sideline as Soja looks to throw. Avoids the sack. Trying to find some blockers. Avoids one more sack. Doesn't avoid the third layer as the flag comes out as the helmet pops off.
Yeah, and that's just an unfortunate product of an athletic quarterback. The defense is scrambling to chase, and they're reaching and they're clawing and they're grabbing. And you have this tremendous talent, and he just had his helmet ripped off. So that's going to be a major foul for a head tackle.
Unnecessary roughness. Face mask. Okanagan, number 90. The 15-yard penalty and a first down.
So now that's two major fouls. You have this face mask, and you have the late hit out of bounds that have extended this and pushed this all the way down to a and goal situation from the 10-yard line.
1st and goal. This stops the clock again. Now get ready for it to roll now. Setting things up. 5 wide receiver look. MJ Doyle Marshall now back in the game. Looking to pass. Soja searching through traffic. Batted away. Nearly got picked off. Intended for Lewis.
He had him a little sooner. If he just got that out, the linebacker looked like it was a linebacker who was able to tip that right away. A missed opportunity. You're going to have tighter windows when you get in the goal line situation because there's nowhere to back up to. Now, I know in Canada you do have a 20-yard deep field, end zone, but still that was right there for the taking. They just might have been a little late on the throw.
So 2nd and goal from the 10. They've swapped Barella back in. Lewis set as a blocker. Soja running out of time. Brought down for a sack across the 20.
Yeah, and that was a coverage sack. He looked right, looked at his number 2, came back. He actually had an opportunity to throw to St. Kitts Park, who was screaming across the field. But that's good protection. You'll see at the top of the screen, you have St. Kitts Park right there. But unfortunately, he was a little too late and the pressure got there, resulting in a sack and now a field goal attempt from approximately 27, 28 yards to see if the Saints can take the lead.
Hunter Bertsma on the sack that time. 2nd field goal attempt of the game. Lewis from the middle. No. Way below the uprights. The Sun trying to return it out of the end zone, but brought down in said end zone, so at least I believe that's going to be the Rouge.
Yeah, not what you want. Your end goal. Yeah, you're at the grandest of all stages. You got to pay those off when you have that opportunity. You are and goal. You need to come away with points, not a point.
And now they have a player down. Carl Fabre is down in the end zone for St. Clair.
Yeah, you'll see. Just a low line drive kick. Great getting down the field and covering this kick here. But it looks like it's a non-contact injury there, or maybe it was friendly fire. But an All-Canadian from last year.
Yeah.
Fantastic presence, pass rushing, really, really good football player on some special teams here. It's nice to see he's walking on his own without any real discomfort. That said, missed opportunity for the home team here. They did inch closer. It's a 1-point game as it stands now, but Okanagan now gets the ball at the 35-yard line for their next possession.
Crozier sets up as the quarterback. 2 running back setup this time. Tom on the handoff. They go in the midst of traffic. No place to go this time of the run from Noah.
Yeah, and that's just a straight power play. They want to run behind their fullback, bring a line, and lean on you. Really nice job by the force unit of the Saints to limit that. After those early 2 runs, the Saints' defensive run schemes have really settled in. 2nd and 7.
This ball spotted at the 38 this time. Just do a one-back setup after the initial run to start this drive. Grogers trying to step up. Avoids 1 sack. Knocked down on the run ahead by Mo Ibrahim. And they give him the spot for the first down.
They do, and he skinnied himself through. The pressure almost got there. A really nice job of the quarterback to step up into the pocket and realize that he had just enough room to slide through and pick up 8 yards for the first down, now at the 46.
About 4 minutes through this second quarter of play. Here on Read the Digital, Justin Prince Petit Quads with you. 7-6 in what's been a tight one so far. They go back to Noah. Running all the way to center field. Pickup of about 9, 2nd and 1.
Yeah, he looked like he was going to be tackled in the backfield for a little bit of a loss. That's a read option, and the quarterback had the choice to pull it. It looked like it was quite bottled up, but the running back was able to power his legs through, and there's a reason why. He's the offensive player in the country and the leading rusher in the country. He is talented, and he churned his way to a 9-yard gain.
2nd and 1. 9 seconds on the play clock. Set things up with Noah close. They fake the handoff. Multiple flags fly. Sun get it across the 50 at the 48. But
my eyes tell me, Justin, you got offside on Okanagan.
Yeah.
It looked like you had a early start from a receiver at the top of the screen here. We'll see if we can catch it. Yeah, I would suspect that's the call, at least from my plain eyes view. Let's see what the referees indicate.
Offside. Okanagan, number 4. That's a 5-yard penalty. Repeat 2nd down.
So that indeed does push them back. Instead of being inside St.Clair territory, at least on the cusp of it, it's now 2nd and 6 from the 50.
Yeah, and that first down run of 9 is negated by that penalty, bringing up that 2nd and still medium, not a terrible down, but obviously you expect to convert on 2nd and 1. Now the challenge is just a little bit more.
3 set in the motion this time. Multiple flags fly at the line of scrimmage again. Incomplete. Intended for Marcus Burden.
And the Saints just gave it back. Hard count. And it looked like you had a couple defensive guys in the neutral zone at the snap.
Yep. That was Adams on the jump.
Offside. St. Clair, number 9. It's a 5-yard penalty. Repeat 2nd down.
All right, so just a little bit of back and forth there as you see our scoreboard. Just a little back and forth. Penalty, 5 yards back, 5 yards forward. We're right back to where we were at 2nd and 1.
Let's try this again. This time they send the quarterback moving. Trouble for Noah on the snap. The ball's still bobbling around. St. Clair's on it. Trying to go for some trickery, and the trickery instead goes to St. Clair's treat.
Yeah, and in my game prep, I saw a couple times where they vacate the quarterback and they do a direct snap to the running back. In this case, that was a high, hot snap, and he's unable to corral it, and you see the ball still bouncing around there, and sure enough, it looks like Anthony Adams gets his hands underneath it, and another turnover. So far, Okanagan has given St. Clair the opportunity to get up on them. It's now time for this offense to pay it off with a major. This explosive record-setting offense needs to turn this in to points, and it looks like we have a timeout.
Sun taking the timeout, our first of this game, and already trying to huddle the defense together. Important to stop St. Clair's momentum here. This is the 2nd turnover so far this ball game from the Sun.
Yeah, and St. Clair has to pay this one off. They can't settle for a single point just to tie it. You don't. If you have to take the field goal, you're going to take it, but you really need to pay it off with a touchdown here. Make Okanagan pay for that mistake.
This time to change it up. How about Soja under center? Setting up with Doyle Marshall as the back. Going on the handoff, and Doyle Marshall trips down. Loses a couple on the rush. Second and long.
Yeah, just looked like he got over the top of himself there and he stumbled. And really unfortunate that they have a negative play once again right after a turnover. And I know Coach LaChance's mindset there, look, we got a talented running back ourselves. Let's get 4 yards on a run. Let's get in second and medium. And instead, he stumbles, and it's second and long.
Come out of the huddle, so under 9 minutes to go in this first half of play now. Still moving around the receivers. Calhoun moving out right. Soja keeps it on the play action. Wants it all again. Traffic batted away. St. Kitts parked the target. Incomplete.
Yeah, and two guys there. They took a little play action. They wanted to do just a little bit of a boot. So he's able to slide a little bit, and he takes his big arm and he puts it on display. But two guys in coverage. You have over the top and under. That is tremendous coverage, high pointing that. That is a great job by number 27 for Okanagan. What a great athletic move to stay stride for stride. And that is David Lewis.
Some spectacular plays today as the ball goes out of bounds. Should correct myself, that was Darius France on the initial play. But regardless, the Sun make a defensive stop. Another big stop for their defense. This has been critical on how they've been able to match up to the targets.
Yeah, and maybe that timeout, it paid off. Very rarely do you see a coach call a timeout to talk to his defense. And sure enough, he did, and the defense responded with two nice plays there. And now Okanagan has all things going for them in that they haven't given up the lead.
1st and 10 from the 21. Again, right into the Hornets' nest. Tackled at about the 25, 26-yard line. That makes it second down.
Yeah, and that's just bully ball. You're just trying to lean on them and try to get 4 or 5 yards. In this case, they look like they got 5 yards out of that. And eventually, they're going to lean on it. And they're going to say, well, our guy's going to bust one. This is what I saw on film. They like to feed it to him and get some momentum. If the Saints can just keep doing what they're doing, force them into passing situations, this game could be long.
Crocher steps back to pass. Throws, batted in, nearly intercepted. Dami Kazadi had that on a silver platter, but there is a flag on the far side of the field.
Wow, wow, wow. And he did have it. Now we're going to have to see what this flag is here because it came out relatively early, and we have offside indicated against Okanagan, so I'm assuming that's going to be declined. But you see our replay. There was no one in sight. No one in sight. He picks this off. He's going to get a big chunk of yards. Goes right through his wickets. I know it was tipped, but they practice these all the time. Sorry for speaking over our official there. Replay was there. That penalty's declined, and Okanagan now has to punt from their 10-yard line.
So now they look to punt it away for 3rd and 5. Midway through the second quarter. And timeout, St. Clair. Coach LaChance didn't like something. And now they'll regroup.
I'll tell you why, because if I do my math correctly.
Well.
Yeah, I see 13 players on the field.
Good catch before that point. But you know what happened the last time these two met up? It was St. Clair's last CJFL championship, 1999. Coach LaChance was a part of the coaching staff for the receivers side. A lot's changed since 1999.
Yeah, and I was on that staff as well. I was very fortunate to work with the offensive line that year in 1999. In that graphic was Rob and John Bloomfield. John in the middle with the head coaching, and John Zuquette, our defensive coordinator. What a fun atmosphere we had as 5,000 people were in Windsor Stadium.
45 years was the drought at the time for that win for John Bloomfield as the coach. As now it's returned by Calhoun. Calhoun brought back for a loss of yardage on the return to the 41.
What great coverage. That is awesome. Paul Mario Nemani, an unbelievable open field tackle. And Saints have had great opportunities to get even better field position, but they're one and done. This is a very, very good tackling team from Okanagan. That is an outstanding tackle in the open field, a 45-yard punt and 0 return yards.
Technically a loss of 1 or 2. Originally picked up around the 43. This time, Soja having a scramble again. Voids 1 sack, throws it away. Makes it incomplete as 2 Saints catch it on the sideline out of bounds.
Yeah, wisely threw it away, because if he doesn't and he tries to get too much out of that, he's going to be a loss. So you're out of the pocket. Not that there's a pocket in Canada. The rule is very simple. As long as the ball gets back to the line of scrimmage, there does not have to be a receiver. There does not have to be a pocket or no pocket. The ball just has to be thrown forward to the line of scrimmage, and it's not intentional. He was out of the pocket anyway. 2nd down and 10. They live to play another down without a loss.
Calhoun moves from near side to far side. Once again, Soja trying to take it himself. Able to get himself to about the 47, 3rd down.
And all eyes were on Soja there. You saw the weak half. You saw the linebacker, number 19. All eyes were on Soja there. They maybe saw something in their advanced scouting that said this is a down for him to do something like that.
Well, now it's 3rd and 4. Quickly getting to punt. St. Kitts Park forced to run back. Couldn't get the punt off and kept it.
Unlike the last time where Okanagan peeled off, they brought everybody. They went after this to try to make a break. He did not have an option to really punt that ball. And, of course, the athlete in him is going to come up and try to make a play. But this team has so proven time and time again early in this game that they can make tackles in the open field, and another tremendous effort, another great tackle. This time, David Lewis, who made the tremendous defensive play the last time.
1st and 10 from the 33 now. Go back to Noah on the ground. Brought down at the 30, pick up about 2 or 3. 2nd down.
So the defense is holding its own. The special teams, that was the first gaffe for St. Clair. A turnover on downs after the failed punt attempt. Now it's time to see if the Saints defense can hold Okanagan, or vice versa, if the Okanagan offense can turn that turnover on downs into points, something the Saints have been unable to do thus far.
5 on the play clock still. Down to 3 as now Crozier looks to throw. Finds target. Lanson gets brought down around the 25, 26-yard line. That makes it 3rd down.
Now, Okanagan looks like they're hurrying to the line of scrimmage. Do they have something where it's an auto, where they automatically go to the line of scrimmage and they try to hard count them? Or, again, they just might be out of field goal range. They might be in a situation where 32-33, that's the one area I don't necessarily know how solid they are in their field goal kicking team, but they're keeping their offense on the field with the nation's leading rusher.
3rd and 2. Setting up with 4 receivers top. Timeout called by the Sun. They didn't like what they were seeing for that alignment.
Yeah, and they are now, looks like, bringing in a field goal unit team. That is their final timeout.
Timeout.
And they're going to see if they can extend this to at least a 10-6 lead.
So now they set things up for the field goal. Coming out is the kicker, Liam Atwood. Atwood this season 13 for 19, along a 48. This kick takes place from about 32 yards out from the left hashes. Calhoun set up in the end zone. Kick is up. Does it get there? No, it doesn't. Returned out of the end zone and dropped on the return by Calhoun, but it goes out of bounds.
All right, and that is Bond, it looked like, number 19, who went and he forced that hit out of bounds. So now the thing is, they've indicated that it is Okanagan ball.
Oh, wow.
They've indicated that the Okanagan player was the last player to touch the ball as it went out of bounds. A different rule if you don't watch Canadian football. A forced fumble, the last person to touch the ball gains possession. So you get the all-star, all-Canadian linebacker going down there. They get it out of the end zone. They take a chance and they force a fumble, and Okanagan bats it out of bounds, and now a turnover from the Saints resulting in an and goal situation for Okanagan.
A flip of the script yet again in this one. Trying to go hard count. This time, quarterback keeper brought down outside the 10 on 1st and goal.
Really nice discipline. This is the first time the quarterback pulled that on that read option. They're going to try to decoy and get Noah the ball, but in this case, great job by the defense to force him to stop in his tracks. Back to his help, Mo Ibrahim forced that back inside, and now it is 2nd and goal from around the 10.5-yard line.
Setting things up from the shotgun this time. Send the receivers dancing around. Roger looks to throw, floats it, end zone, jumping back, touchdown! Caught by Burden. And the Suns strike yet again.
One-on-one, you just run a fade route, and the DB just lost his position on the field. I think he just didn't maintain his leverage on the guy. He was beat. And unfortunately, he never got a play on the ball. He couldn't locate the ball. He just put his hand up. Once the receiver flashes, you got to turn and find the ball. And that is, I think, number 3, Billy Patterson Jr., who was unable to make a play on the ball. And Okanagan is capitalizing on a mistake from the Saints team.
Extra point up, extra point through as they correct things on the scoreboard. 14-6. Just outside the 3-minute warning. Okanagan able to force a mistake after their missed field goal and able to capitalize. They've got themselves the advantage. What a matchup so far once again.
It is, and these are two heavyweights. They're throwing some punches and they're forcing some turnovers. The only difference is Okanagan's first drive, they were able to find pay dirt, and on the second touchdown, it was off the turnover. St.Clair has had multiple opportunities to put majors up after turnovers and walked away with a single and no points. And ultimately, that's not going to necessarily cut it. They've got a safety on the board. They got a single. They got a field goal. They need majors. Now, it's not panic time. There's 3:19. They score, get a 2-point. Not that they're going to necessarily get the 2-point right off the get-go, but you score, you're tied at the half. Or just about tied. There's lots of time in this game here. They just got to minimize their mistakes and capitalize on the mistakes by the Suns. And the Suns have capitalized now with a major off a turnover.
Booted away, this time targeting Lewis, who's one of their targetmen this time. Ball across the 25, now to the 30, and right into the sea of the sun. Brought down at about the 31-yard line for the start of this drive. And a look at the last play again.
Yeah, a nice high arcing ball. His receiver shows his hands, but there's just not a play on the ball.
So 1st and 10 from the 31 will be the spot this time.
And so far, that's 2 touchdown passes. This is a team that relies heavily on the run. So now let's see if the offense can click. For 3 minutes, drive it down the field and close the gap.
Under 30 minutes to go. MJ Doyle Marshall trying to find some space. Didn't get anywhere. And that's been a struggle so far this game is the running from St. Clair.
Yeah, and what's happening is the the Saints aren't picking up that extra man who's in the box, and they're finding their way through the gap. So you're getting speed. Linebackers, halfbacks are knifing through the gaps on those plays, and they're not getting any kind of positive gains on those first down run attempts right now.
2nd and 10 as we're inside the 3-minute warning. Lewis coming up as an extra blocker this time to the left of Soja. Send two in the motion, now looking to pass. Soja searching, has to step up, gets to about the 35, 36-yard line. Again, that will make a 3rd down, and St.Clair still not able to move things forward.
Yeah, and back end, they're not giving up the home run ball, so they're going to have to now get underneath and take those yards that they're giving. Those little curls, the ins, the outs, just at 5 to 7 yards and let your athletes make a play. But the punt team has to come out here now. No, job number 1, you got to secure the blocking. Okanagan brought a ton of heat last time, and there was no step up to the blocks here, so they got to get this off.
Quickly flicked away, quickly punted away. They do get it off this time. And it bounces past Falconer. Forced to backtrack all the way inside the 40, but still Okanagan ball.
Okanagan dodged a bullet there. There's been some circus plays on these special teams so far from both teams. Fake runs, a mistimed handled ball twice now for Okanagan. A missed field goal taken out, forced fumble, batted out of bounds by the defense. I mean, the special teams have been great and not great for each team so far. Now this one forces Okanagan back to their own 39-yard line, 8-yard line, but still good field position. The only problem for them is they used their 2 timeouts already so far.
Looking to throw, and quickly to one knee and 2 knees. That loses a yard quick.
Yeah, he would have been better served not catching that, because he had to go down to his knees to catch it, and as a result, lost about 1.5 yards on that. A low throw, not a great throw. They're just trying a little slip screen to the short side of the field there, little drive starter, but to no avail.
2nd and 11 from the 37, under 2 minutes to go. Birds stick around at halftime for the halftime report with Dom Papa. Into the ground this time. Noah gets himself to about the 40. That still makes it 3rd and long.
Right, so now really good job by the defense. Held their ground. Saints, a half-decent return. They'll be around their 40, 45-yard line. A bigger return could approach midfield here. But that being said, they have 1 timeout and 1:47, probably going to have right around 1:20 left in this first half to see if they can close this gap.
So once again, special teams units coming out.
And they're just going to run the full 10, 11, 12. I thought they'd get a little bit more out of that.
Still punts it away, though. And Calhoun botches it. The Suns jump on it inside the St.Clair 40.
Again, I said it earlier, the special teams have been a circus ride so far on both sides. Mishandling punts, mistiming kicks, a fake kick. It just bad play right now. And just when you thought you were going to have 1:20 with a timeout, Okanagan has a short field with the opportunity to extend the lead, and Okanagan with the option to have the ball to start the 3rd quarter.
Well, going back to some of the keys from the coaches, they did both say special teams critical, managing field position on one side for the Sun, and then winning special teams on the other. So far, and that run gets it to 2nd and medium. Special teams has won the day.
So
for this.
the inside zone run to Noah, and the quarterback just pulls it and keeps it around that right side and picks up a really good gainer here. So I suspect they're in 3-down territory if they don't get it here, especially with this much time on the clock here. They're just going to try to grind it out. If they get this first down quickly, you'll see a little tempo and hurry up probably from Okanagan.
2nd and 3 from the 32. Send a couple in the motion again. Crozier searches, throwing one-on-one. Trying to draw the flag, no. Falconer, the intended target, 3rd and 3.
Yeah, nice job both ways. Quarterback did a nice job, at least getting it, identifying the matchup he had through a decent ball, not a great ball, maybe just a little underneath, but that was good coverage by the defensive backfield for St. Clair. So now it looks like they're bringing out the field goal unit. And what would amount to about a 40-yard, no, I stand corrected. They're bringing out the punt unit.
Oh, this is interesting, but remember, they did just miss one from about this range. So trying to force Lewis into the end zone here. That would make it a 2-score game if they were to force a Rouge. Punted away to the coffin corner. Oh, and it hits the pylon instead inside the end zone, and there's the Rouge.
Yeah, and you know what? If you were Okanagan, you wish it didn't hit that cone. Because if it goes out at the 1, it's out at the 1. And in this case scenario, they're going to get this ball out to the 35-yard line, which is a benefit to St. Clair right now. Even though it does stretch it to 9, now St. Clair, the full playbook is open. You'll see this kick. It takes a right turn and hits the cone. Flat out, simple call for the official who's standing right there on that very cone. So I think this is an advantage for St. Clair, even though they gave up a point. Now their offense has full room to work with. 48 seconds, a timeout, enough to at least get themselves into field goal range and maybe have an explosive for a touchdown.
Looking to set things up, Soja. Takes it for the QB keeper again, and yet again, the Sun are ready for it, right at the line of scrimmage. 2nd down.
Yeah, again, well defended. This force unit is really, really king on Maurice Soja. They are willing to let anyone else do something. The minute he tucks, you're seeing brown jerseys and orange hats just in a complete sprint to the ball.
Coming up to the final 30 seconds of this half. Looking to throw, flags are up again at the line of scrimmage. Soja takes the scramble, gets across the 45, marked down around that point, but a flag is down.
Yeah, and this was right away, so it's got to be a procedural type thing, either offside on the offense or on the defense, and the early indication is offside against St. Clair.
Let's take a
Offside. St. Clair, number 6. That's a 5-yard penalty. Repeat 2nd down.
That makes it 2nd and long. And a look over to Matt Gannett as he sets on the sideline here. We've seen Matt Gannett have to come in for the OFC final due to the injuries for Soja and several others. Now 2nd and 15 from the 30. Soja looks on the bullet again. Has France. This time's got it. Caught around the 40, around the 41-yard line.
Now 15.5 seconds left, one timeout. They're calling him inbound, so they're going to have to hustle here. But they just let the play evolve so that the outside wheel route can sort of get there. And great adjustment by Darius France to at least come back to the ball, secure it as he's going down. And now they're set up at the 15-yard line. So they better hurry up and snap this ball. They don't want this to be the last play of the half.
Running out of time to get this off. Get it off with 7 seconds left. Soja wants the end zone. Throwing deep. Calhoun to the turf with 0.5 seconds to go. But a flag is down to the end zone.
Okay, but there is a little bit of a concern here in that the all-star, all-Canadian offensive lineman is at midfield without his helmet, and he's reaching for what looks like his eye, just like somebody poked him in the eye.
Taragoam Weber.
Pass interference. Defense, number 18. That's a 15-yard penalty and first down.
So there's the reason we've seen it on the replay. Grab to the arm for Calhoun. Here's a look again.
And you see him swipe right across the arm. Unquestionable. That was a pass interference. He did not allow him to make a play back for the ball. That swipe across. So now after the big pass completion to France and the pass interference on the big arm of the quarterback, they have a 32-yard field goal to try to bring this back to a one-possession game.
This to end the half. Kick is up. The kick sails on through. 15-9, your score at the break.
We have a flag. We have a flag. So we're going to see what the call is here. Too many men on the field for the Saints. That's going to be a 10-yard penalty, and they're going to have to re-kick.
It's going to be much harder.
We'll repeat the down. 13 players on the kicking team.
That is just a costly mistake. That's a big mistake.
And right now, the St. Clair coaching staff is looking at the numbers and getting the last of those players back off the field.
Well, let's see, actually. Before I say it's a costly mistake, let's see. First, they still have a chance to get a 42-yard field goal here.
And at the hole, the kick by Lewis. And the answer is, it is. It blows wide. The Sun take it out of the end zone. So just like that, you go from a chance for a single possession game to the Sun leading 15-6 instead. At the break, Okanagan with the advantage. The halftime report with Don Papa coming up. You're watching We Digital.
Welcome back to Acumen Stadium, the site of the Canadian Bowl here on We Digital Productions. What an entertaining game, what an entertaining half of football between the St. Clair Saints and, of course, the Okanagan Sun. It was 25 years ago the Canadian Bowl was played in Windsor at the old Windsor Stadium. It was then the AKO Fratmen, who are now the St.Clair Saints, taking on the Okanagan Sun. It was the AKO Fratmen coming up with a Canadian championship. We're going to reminisce a little bit right now, folks. We got two outstanding individuals that were big parts of that championship team. To my left, he was the head coach. He was the coach, Coach John Bloomfield, all the way here from Florida with us. And to my right, the winning quarterback, an outstanding quarterback, had a great quarterback career, Dan Gray. Thanks for doing this with us, guys. And Coach Bloomfield, I'll go to you first. Coming back to something like this, and it must bring up some memories for you. What do you remember about that day at Windsor Stadium?
A lot. The guy sitting right over there, I remember, all the events leading up to it, but particularly seeing all those guys today again, even more memories flood back. But, just outstanding performances. Danny Gray, Jeremy Marchand, our offensive line, our defense. I don't think people always remember, Lance Matthews. There's so many guys that you just tick off and you think, that we were very deserving of that game, and the work that was put in and the performances that day were outstanding. It's still very fresh in my memory, even 25 years later.
It was a great day. Dan, for yourself, much like Coach Bloomfield, it's something that no one can take away from you guys, something that will always be. It's there in the history books, and you're at the helm of the offense, and running this machine. What was it like for you to win a championship?
Yeah, it's everything, Dom. When you think back 25 years ago, which I can't believe it's 25 years ago to start with, and just the full team that we had, the coaching staff that we had, we were ready for that game. We were confident in that game coming in. Whenever you play these teams from the West Coast, it's really a different feel, right? They're bringing in a whole different game. They're bringing in that kind of official Canadian game, where I feel in our area we're still running a little bit more of that American side. And we were prepared, and we were prepared from the coaches. And like Coach Bloomfield was saying, it's the offensively, defensively, there was so much talent on our team. Steve Simic running that defense. Luckily, I was in the position that I was in running that offense. It just made for a great game, and the memories will last us a lifetime.
Yeah, for sure. Coach, what made that team special? And if you had to put a stamp on it, obviously you put the stamp on it. You knew these guys. You know how to push the buttons. How would you stamp that team, and what made them special?
Well, I think, first of all, the familiarity that everybody had. Guys on that staff, we'd all been coaching with and against each other in high school leading up to it. A lot of those kids, obviously a lot of them, like Danny, played for me in high school before AKO, before I got the job at AKO. But it was a local team. I'm listening to the introductions prior to this game, and kids are playing for St.Clair that are from all over Ontario. Our guys, furthest they were away was maybe Bell River or Leamington. And it was a local team, and yeah, we were very Americanized kind of, but we all grew up, myself included, with the American game right across the river, and the relationships that we already had and that we had sort of gone through, because we'd gone to the national finals prior, and this was kind of third time's a charm for us, and we were able to get over that hump, because it is a very different brand of football that you play. What I'm noticing tonight is it's almost been like a reversal of roles. I'm watching Okanagan try to run the ball a heck of a lot more and Windsor's throwing it around a lot more. But we were a very tight-knit group, and a lot of these kids had played with each other and or against each other growing up, and we'd been together for the full 3-4 years leading up to that, and had our disappointments, but we got over it and finally were able to win it.
Yeah, that was such a great moment. Was there anything in the game, Dan, that stood out to you that maybe was the hump that you guys sort of got over, that we're going to win this thing?
Yeah, I feel it was. I want to say the whole game, Dom, and it was the fans. The night I can picture in my head 25 years ago, where we were the old Windsor Stadium. We were completely circled around with fans, and I don't know if there was a time in that game where we were worried. And I say that with the utmost respect for Okanagan too. We just felt that was our time, our game, and there were so many moments in that game from Terrence Fina, Carter. Like, it was just Lance Matthews on the defensive side. Like, I feel there was nothing that was going to stop us that night. There was no key moment. I feel it was the whole night. It was a moment for us.
But he completed a big ball. we went for it on a third down and threw a play action pass, which I don't think they were expecting, and it really was the play of the game. We had some other things, but that throw on third down to Jeremy Marchand
made the coach look like a genius, right?
No. That was my brother.
Oh, okay. We'll give Coach Robbie a shout out for sure. But Coach, you're still involved with football down in Florida, right?
I am, yeah. I'm coaching high school and loving every minute. I still love Friday Night Lights, and I plan to continue doing it for at least a couple more years. It's a lot of fun down there.
It's good that you're still in the game. We need you. You did a great job here, and I'm sure you're doing an excellent job down there. Dan, you're still involved with football. I'll be seeing a lot of you in the next couple of weeks. Let's give a shout out to the upcoming championships coming up here.
Yeah, we're really excited, Dom. Convening Wexford football. We have 2 great teams firing for the championship next week. We got Holy Names and Herman once again in the Wexford final next Thursday night on WeTV. So we're really excited about that matchup. I think it's going to be a great game. If everybody can tune in, I think it'll be fantastic.
All right. Gentlemen, thank you for everything. Thank you for a championship for our city. Very proud of you guys, and great memories, though. Really enjoyed having you guys here on the broadcast, and continued success and health. And you know what? Let's go Saints tonight. Hopefully they can win this second half.
Yeah.
Coach John Bloomfield, quarterback Dan Gray, 2 special guys, that's for sure. A quick timeout. When we come back, Michael Silvaggi, the president of St. Clair College, will join us. You're watching the Canadian Bowl on We Digital Productions. Welcome back to beautiful Acumen Stadium on the campus of St. Clair College. The Canadian Bowl Junior Football Championship unfolding here tonight. The Okanagan Sun with a 15-6 lead over the St. Clair Saints. As promised at the break, very pleased and honored to have on our broadcast tonight the president of the St. Clair College, Mr. Michael Silvaggi. Thanks for doing this with us, Mr. Silvaggi. And first of all, congratulations on the job. And
Thank you.
I think it's a great call for the college. Quickly, how much you enjoying it? And I'm sure you're pretty busy with a lot of things.
It's, well, first and foremost, thank you for being here tonight. I'm enjoying my role very much. So St. Clair College has been part of my history here. And, I'm in year 24, not 24 in the role, but I'm in year 24. So this is where I'm meant to be. I spend a lot of time here. And this night here is a culmination of everything we're trying to achieve.
Yeah, let's get to that, Mr. Silvaggi, if we can. It's just a tremendous atmosphere, and we've watched the stadium get built. Now we see this football program, the soccer program is building. Everything's going in such a positive direction. Now you're at the helm of all of this. What's it mean to you to be a part of this and certainly see it excelling the way it is?
Oh, well, first and foremost, you've seen the crowd here. You have students, and no doubt about it, this has turned into a community event, very much a Windsor event. And the amount of individuals that have some sort of affiliation from, obviously, the AKO Fratman, there's a strong representation here, but more so, it's Windsor. St. Clair College is proud of Windsor, Essex, Chatham-Kent, but this tonight is very much a Windsor event, and we are very much proud to bring the Canadian championships here, and this is something that we strive for from an athletics perspective, We believe we can compete on a variety of sports and athletic programming. So this is what it's all about. This is one of the things we were trying to achieve when we put the shovel in the ground and had all these plans in place.
Yeah, I mean, go back to John Strasser, Dr. Strasser, and then you have Patty France, who I know she was here at several of the games and just loved the athletics. And now you get another guy. I know you're a sports guy, so again, I mean, it just continues the consistency of at the top with the leadership of, I guess, the importance of athletics.
It's the importance of athletics, the importance of student experience. Everything that we have done has always been about creating student life. We obviously our academic programming, that's a different conversation, but the student experience is very important. We have individuals coming here from southwestern Ontario, but at the same time we have individuals coming from all over Canada and all over the world. So this period in their life, we want to make sure it's impactful, and certainly this is a springboard to better things and greater things. The time here that they've invested with St.Clair College is we want to make sure that they've enjoyed every moment of it. And you can't put a price on the student life aspect, on the student experience. It's just an overall contributor to post-secondary education.
Okay, I got to ask you, Mr. Silvaggi, put you on the spot here a little bit. We're down here. We've kind of shot ourselves in the foot here a couple of times. I like the way the guys are playing. Do you see the comeback happening? And you got to keep the faith, right?
We are within striking distance. You're right. Keep the faith. Let's get to some of the momentum in this crowd, and let's get us through.
Great to have you with us here.
Oh, my pleasure.
Appreciate it, and continued success. I'm sure we'll get to talk down the road, but thank you for making all this happen here tonight.
Thank you. Thank you for being here. We couldn't do this.
Michael Silvaggi, the outstanding president of St. Clair College, doing a fine job assuming the role from Patty France. There you see the score, 15-6 for Okanagan. When we come back, it's the second half, and the call, Badia Quas and Justin Prince with all the action. You're watching the Canadian Bowl on We Digital Productions.
Welcome back, everyone, to tonight's coverage of the CJFL National Championship, the Canadian Bowl. The Sun up 15-6 for the St. Clair Saints. Justin Prince alongside Badi Quaz as we get ready for the third quarter. And Badi, so far, both teams near even statistically, but it's the Sun that's capitalized more with the touchdowns.
No question, and the mistake, and you'll see here on the stats, similar passing yards, similar rushing yards. Those first downs for the Saints all in the first quarter. Penalties have been in the favor of the Saints in this case scenario. However, like you said, it's the capitalization. They just have not been able to find pay dirt, and a penalty at the end costing them 10 yards on a field goal attempt that was made. And the part of the disturbing thing about that is the Saints did have a timeout left.
Yeah.
They could have taken a timeout. It just wasn't recognized by anyone. And now what we're going to see is Okanagan with the ball to open up this second half of the 115th National Championship here at Acumen Stadium. And it is a close one. It's a 9-point game. Anything can happen, but mistakes have been the story thus far. And we'll see if the mistakes continue.
The Suns start off with the ball here in the second half of play. We're back underway. Turn taken across the 30. Brought across the 40 to start things off. Gage Parker on the return this time.
Yeah, real nice start. Now, the very first possession is where Okanagan made a ton of ground. They went about 60 yards and scored in 3 plays, which is probably right around half their total yardage in that first half. But this is exactly the kind of game they want to play. A slowed down when they need to grind out first downs, put one more score on the board, and make the other team chase.
One in the motion now to block for Noah. Noah into the defense, picks up a couple. That makes it second and long still.
Yeah, and that's your linebacker and your DN, your all-stars, Mo Abraham and Jalen Brunette, who combined there for a maybe 2-yard gain. They've done a really nice job containing this All-Canadian, the National Player of the Year on the offense.
That makes it second and 8. Ball spotted at the 46. Looking to pass. Crozier floating it. Has a target. Incomplete. Intended that time for Burden. That makes it 3rd and 8. And once again, the punting game continues.
All right, and it looked like Billy Patterson was in phase with his receiver. They took a shot, unable to capitalize. They're going to punt. St. Clair now has to find their rhythm on offense. And really, Justin, to be honest with you, on first down offense, they've been behind the chains an awful lot. If they can just shore up first down offense as we see the punt snap.
Combined 9 punts in the first half from these two teams. This time the ball bounces out of bounds inside the 30. So far, no yards flags in this ball game. But St. Clair looks to try and pick up some yardage on this drive.
Yeah, and Okanagan has not done anything fancy with their punt coverages. It's just a boundary kick. They're trying to pin you to a corner. Just the mistakes have happened, and both teams on special teams have made some serious mistakes. And like you said in the opening of this second half, it's just been Okanagan with the touchdowns that have paid it off, whereas the Saints haven't found pay dirt yet with this highly touted offense.
67 yards passing in the first half for Soja. 52 yards on the ground, though. Ends up going to a run to Doyle Marshall. First big break for Doyle Marshall this half. He sheds off one, spins off another, spins off another. Brought down inside the 40.
And the crowd just erupted, and you got MJ Doyle Marshall, who has been very well contained in the first half. Finally finds some pay dirt, and on an inside zone running play, they just run their own little power. He hits the seam, and he went straight for almost 25 yards before first contact. Made one guy miss, does a jump cut. Gentle stiff arm back down and picks up another 20 yards after first initial contact as he did a spinorama all the way down to the 35-yard line.
From the 36, Doyle Marshall gets brought down at that 35-yard line, pickup of 1. By the way, how contained was Doyle Marshall in the first half? -4 yards. Well, he got in the positive now.
Yeah, but that run was for minimal gain as they picked up maybe a yard.
2nd and 9 from the 35-yard line. Might be another passing situation from the distance. 2 receivers set up to the left, 3 to the right of Soja. Soja looks to throw. Throws it while being sacked, intercepted. Picked off, and who else is it? It's Jacob Bond. Bond able to get to about the 45. And there's that star you put next to Jacob Bond earlier.
Yeah, he just fell into that one because it was the pressure that got there and hit the arm. But there was a devastating peel back block here. So you're going to see his arm hit. Clearly, the ball was hit. And Jacob Bond does get this. But in the middle of the screen, you're going to see one of the offensive linemen right there, 77, got peel back blocked. that there is intent to injure. Like, I would not be surprised. He got absolutely peeled off on that. That would not surprise me if it's anything more. Like, he hit him hard. And that is what they try to eliminate. It's definitely going back 15. The interception's going to stand. But that was a
interception.
violent
We
hit.
have unnecessary roughness, blindside block, Okanagan, number 2. That's a 15-yard penalty, first down.
That's going to cost a lot of field position yet again. Dangerous throw, but a dangerous block as well.
And you'll see it on the left of our screen, right into his chest. And he didn't hit his head, and he landed on his teammate, so his head never rocked off there, but he guaranteed winded. Those are the kind of blocks that they've tried to eliminate. You can't block back towards your own line of scrimmage, but the turnover stands.
During the regular season, Soja had 2 interceptions, just 2. Now, the run knocks Noah back around, out of bounds on the sideline.
Yeah, good gainer, though. He picked up about 6 yards there as we take a look at MJ Doyle-Marshall on the sideline. And another missed opportunity. They get a 2-and-out on their first defensive set. The offense does get a big explosive 45-yard run. And then a turnover, giving it back to Okanagan. And now with a 2nd down and 3, they're looking to try to get some first down momentum, stack a couple together, and lean on their run game.
From the 25-yard line, it's 2nd and 3. Berger looks to throw, incomplete. Must be intended for Melanson.
Yeah, and that is just a little off timing-wise because the receiver didn't even make a look back. So the quarterback and receiver were not in the same phase on that passing play. And at least based on the films and the things I've seen, they haven't really committed this much to the passing game as much as I have seen. Now, I didn't watch their whole balance of their season. That being said, they are now punting again, a low snap. Let's see if Saints can find some good field position here.
From inside the 50, it's Lewis this time with the return. Lewis dances in the Sun territory. Good field position for St. Clair's drive. This time, back to work goes Soja.
Yes, and the defense once again held their own on that play. Okanagan, for great first down play, unable to get that first down. I believe they only had 5 in the first half, and a couple of them were on the opening drive. So the offense, the run game has been sort of absorbed and contained, and both offenses are stalling out. The defenses are playing great. The turnovers and the mistakes are the story thus far in this game.
5 wide receiver look once again for St. Clair. Back to more of their common looks on formation. Soja sheds off a sack. Calling for some movement on the block. Gets across the 50. Avoids some tacklers. Knocked out around the 40. That's a long way to get yourself the first there.
Yeah, and that's just, he does things that other quarterbacks and other athletes can't. First, he makes the guy miss in the backfield. And at this point in time, he's still a thrower. He's still looking to direct traffic. And then he realizes, I can get 10 here. And he gets a block downfield from his running back, and he does pick up 10. That's a special, gifted athlete. Now, the passing game hasn't been in perfect rhythm right now, but he has had now approximately 70 yards rushing on his own.
This time it's 1st and 10 from the 39. Soja stepping forward, throws, middle of the field, complete. St. Kitts Park on the reception. Gets them to around the red zone.
Yeah, and that, again, something I noted earlier. I think the middle of the field is something they can get to. This time he has the protection, maybe a little bit underthrown, but nonetheless a great catch in a tight window. Actually, I shouldn't say underthrown. That was thrown in a pretty good spot now that I saw it on the replay where only his guy can go get it. So let's see if they can now pay it off. They're in the red zone again.
From the 17-yard line, 1st and 10. Send their 3 receivers forward. Now for the run, Doyle-Marshall. Doyle Marshall found a little hole, gets to about the 10. Second and short.
Yeah, exactly. Found a little hole, made a little plant cut back underneath that, and picked up a good 7 yards here.
So 2nd and 3 coming up from the 10 here. Clock still continues to roll. 8:30 to go in this third quarter. Doyle Marshall stays as the back here. Looks around, trying to throw. Soja now has a convoy, trying to force him out of bounds. They do. Picked up a couple on the play. We'll see if they give him the spot or not.
Yeah, I think he may have lost a half a yard there. It's going to bring up a 3rd down and around 5. And right now, the early indication is the offense is staying on the field. And nope, now they're going with a field goal.
So they did give him the loss of yards rather than the gain of yards for the initial location.
And I was watching Coach LaChance the entire time as he was looking, the initial play started. And I think he had a receiver, and they just were not on the same page because Maurice was expecting something to get over the top, and the receiver didn't necessarily get over the top of that, and the quarterback had to scramble out.
Lewis now looks to kick it after the miss earlier. Kick is up, kick is good. There's that field goal attempt from earlier. It's now 15-9.
Yeah, and again, the little mistakes, there was no good reason. That 13th man on the field just before the half, you could be sitting right now at 15-12 just as easily, without really anything super dynamic. That being said, their defense is playing well enough to keep them clearly in this game. The Saints offense has to find a little bit more consistency. They've had a couple big plays. They have to find the end zone, though.
1st and 10 from the 35. Sending a couple people forward for blocks. Noah going straight to the run. Trying to bounce out. Lost a yard on the play.
That is a great job of maintaining your gap integrity. That looked like it was Ryan and Jim who ended up just waiting patiently, not getting himself out of position. They tried to run that little lead-o, that power play with the insert from a guard. And in this case scenario, the defensive line held their ground, and the linebacker / halfback was able to walk into that tackle and make it a tackle for a loss.
Send 4 moving around. Crozier forced to throw again. Throwing. Finds a man complete. Off to the end zone. Touchdown. Okanagan. Ty Walker.
And this time, Coach Morency dialed up some pressure. The Okanagan Sun picked it up, which leaves man coverage. They got a shot over the top. The defensive back loses his leverage in position, and there you have it. They pick up everybody. A clean pocket, a good throw, mistimes the jump. Now you're off balance. It's a walk-in touchdown for the Okanagan Sun for their first super explosive play to answer the field goal. So now the touchdowns comparisons to field goals are what the really difference is. The Saints have had red zone opportunities, but Okanagan has found the actual end zone. So that's the difference. St.Clair, end zone or red zone opportunities. Okanagan, end zone makes. Big difference, and that's the difference on the scoreboard as they've extended their lead right now to 13 points.
Keep in mind, this is a team that during the regular season, a combined 12 passing touchdowns. Crozier just had 3. Well, he's equalized what he did in the regular season, Crozier has, what he's done for Okanagan today. And so St.Clair and this entire stadium left silent as their offense has remained silent tonight for scoring.
Yeah, and this has been the formula. Watching the games leading up to this of the Okanagan Sun, They are going to just, hey, we're going to bend. We're just not going to break. And they haven't broken. They've actually held strong in the red zone.
Kicked away by Hay. Lewis this time returns it from 15, fakes the flip, and runs right up to the tackler. But the helmet comes off again, and that draws the flag.
Yeah, you can't wrap around the head and sort of twist. You're there. You're in a good spot to make the tackle, but you're high over the top, and you wrap the arm around, and you twist. It's just the twist at the end. He just didn't need that.
On the kicking team, number 82, head tackle. 15 yards, first down.
Again, a very good tackling team. Okanagan is doing a great job in space and open field tackling. That one there was just the one final twist. You have them. Just continue with your feet. You don't need to be high on somebody's back and twisting off his helmet.
1st and 10, ball spotted now at the 40. St.Clair having the receivers coming from fairly deep this time. Lewis swaps sides. Soja sets up on the option. Doyle Marshall puts up the block. Soja still runs out of space, but dives ahead to pick up a couple.
And this is just something that they obviously have prepped for a ton. Okanagan is just flowing. They're flowing. They're coming up and forcing. And they're just, look at the blanket of brown jerseys. Good on Maurice to even jump forward and pick up 4 yards, because that looked like it was destined for a tackle for a loss. But that is very good discipline, and now we have a flag. And it sounded like, or it appeared like the coaches from Okanagan were losing it a little bit. And now we're going to get an objectionable conduct on the bench from Okanagan.
And those coaches being brought back off the sideline. This is going to move it forward.
Conduct. Okanagan bench. 10-yard penalty, first down.
And for the most part, like, I got to trust Coach Miller. He's done a great job with this program. They won a national championship a couple years ago. They've been on the national stage, and they've proven that they're a capable team. He's got I think that one there was just a little bit out of character for him. Just don't take that penalty and give the other team a little bit of momentum. And that might just be the spark needed. Now, again, his defense is playing so well, and you see the conference, so he seems quite animated about something. And now you can tell he's heated. Just calm. You guys are up by 2 scores right now. Don't give the team anything. Don't let them find some momentum on you. You're the coach. Let your players finish this one out and figure this out.
Look at some of the fans now set up around the stadium in the extra seats. That's 1st and 10 from the 54. Soja puts a bullet on it. Finds his man, Cameron, St. Kitts Park. Marked down around the 5.
That's a cannon, and what a catch. What an absolute catch. My goodness. This guy here is just so talented. And you look at this throw, that's in the air, almost 60 yards. Gets his hands up, away from his body. Hands catches it, clearly catches that ball. What a tremendous play, and yet again, an and goal situation here for the home team.
Can they put it into pay dirt, though, is the question. 1st and goal. Lots of scrambling around here. Soja keeps it. Trying to bring the ball across the plane. They don't give him the spot, though. Mark him down to the 1.
All right, so sorry, Maurice, there's no instant replay, so you can put your hands up. They've already spotted you down here. So we'll get into our clothesline. They show a little action, and they lead ISO. And it is now the knee. Yeah, it does look like his wrist was down before he made that final turn. So I'm going to give all due credit that he was down. And now it looks like we have an offensive lineman down for the home team.
Look one more time at the replay.
Oh, yeah, there it is. It's big number 69 who got rolled up on, and that is Thierry Dunster. And he got rolled up on, and you can clearly see that his leg got sort of pushed back on. Now, the fortunate thing is he is able to sort of jog off on his own. So sometimes it's more of the scare. You feel that leg buckle. He's got 2 braces on. It's the fact that he's able to jog with that much weight on it. Good. Now you're just going to have to lean on your all-stars. You have 2 all-stars on that one left side. You got to lean on them, wedge this thing forward, and get yourself that touchdown.
So now it's 2nd and goal. They set up for the wedge. Bring Gage Blasco to help push ahead. Soja maneuvers ahead. End zone touchdown, St. Clair. And the St. Clair Saints break through for their first TD of the ball game. A chance to reduce the gap to 6 with the extra point.
All right, so now the offenses are getting a little bit involved, and there you go. He realized my guys on the left are my all-stars. Let's go behind them. And sure as hell, he went right behind them, easily got the yard to gain, and now the extra point is up and good.
That makes it 22-16. Now it's the matter of seeing how this response comes from the Sun. 3 passing touchdowns today. You can already see a lot of vivid discussion as they look to try and build things defensively. St. Clair, here's the look of the replay on the wedge.
Yeah, and then there you have it, pay dirt. That's what you needed. So now, does that open up the offense? Does that create that spark the offense needs to maybe stack a couple scoring plays down? The defense, are they going to be amped up now that the offense has put something up on the board? Okanagan still has been fantastic controlling the line of scrimmage in the pass sets. Hasn't been too much pressure. So the throwing game is very, very disciplined and very, very effective thus far.
Turn for about the 20 this time. Right across the 35. Solid pickup on the return. This time by Parker.
Yeah, really nice return. Really good return. Whenever you can get the ball somewhere across the 35-yard line, you've bought yourself some good room to work with.
So this is going to be 1st and 10 from the 38-yard line. Set up with Noah alongside the quarterback this time. Conference of blocking. Going on the handoff, Noah. Trying to cut out. Still trying to push ahead. Now being pushed the other way. Gets the continuation to the sticks, 2nd down.
And that's just good team defense. That's just good team run defense. His initial option was taken away. He tried to bounce it. The rest of the bodies came, squared up, and ended up maybe getting a half yard. Yeah, and you just see on the defense, they force it back inside, and that's where all the help is. And now you have, 8, 9 helmets all at or near the ball?
2nd and 9 from the 39-yard line. Look to pass, Crozier again. This time finds Noah. Noah gets it up for a 1st down. That moves the chains for the first time in a bit.
Yeah, a nice play call. They can't get the runner going with the run game, so let's see if we can get them caught in a sort of blitz set and a little swing pass to the running back. And just enough to get that 1st down. The pressure was bearing down, but when you have a swing pass, it's a quick throw. And sure enough, he got it in stride, and Noah was able to pick up about 10 yards on that play.
1st and 10 with under 3 minutes to go in the 3rd quarter. Setting up from the 52-yard line. Defense all stacked in the box as the clock reaches zeros on the play clock.
Yeah, and you know what? I looked, and that clock was 0 for almost a full 2 seconds, so maybe they were just trying to let them play through it, but that was an easy call. That's a 5-yard delay of game.
So rarity at this level. So now it's 1st and 15 instead from the 47. Set things up now. 4 wide receivers set up at the bottom of your screen. And they send them all in motion. Going on the play action, intercepted, picked off Billy Patterson Jr. He's got a convoy, blockers ahead, Patterson Jr. knocked out inside the 20.
This place has erupted, has everyone on their feet here. You get the pressure inside, the bodies are in the way, and now you see this, he has to flip, and it was tipped. It looked like it was Montalban who tipped the ball, and Billy Patterson, Johnny on the spot, finds it, and now you look at the athletic play here to get down the field and spring it, and now they are in a red zone opportunity with a chance to take the lead.
1st and 10, ball just outside goal-to-go mark. It's at the 12. Soja keeps it, runs it through a man, gets to about the 5. Whistles blow there, but a late flag comes out. So there's a flag and more notes for the notebook.
Yeah, and usually when it goes to this, somebody said something after the play. Somebody said something. I'm interested in this call.
Objectionable conduct. Okanagan, number 19. First down.
And how the momentum changes. 1st and goal.
And this ball is at the 1-yard line now. So this came out way late. So now wedge forward, 3 plays in a row. And let's see if you can find, and they see, I wasn't about to say it shouldn't have walked all the way 1. It's half the distance to the goal because it wasn't a UR. So instead of it going, it will give them an automatic first. That the OC will reset the downs, but the half the distance to the goal. The UR would have walked it all the way to the 1-yard line.
They mark it down at that 3. Going double backs this time. Blasco added in for the blocker. This time they keep it with Soja. Pushing, end zone, touchdown, St.Clair. And this game is tied.
Quarterback power to the left. Fullback, tailback, escort into the end zone. And now this crowd is fully engaged. As you see everybody on the Saints sideline and every fan on their feet. 22-22, here's the replay. Just quarterback power, and he says, you know what, again, I'm going behind my offensive tackle, who's an all-Canadian, who pinned that end in and did a wonderful job. And for the first time all game long, the home team has the lead in the national championship.
And it comes with 1:33 to go in the 3rd quarter. One more look at what sparked this.
And this was the interception here, and you see it was Nick Carter. Nick Carter, 93, got his hands on the ball. Bingo, bingo, bingo. Let's go and let's escort. Let's get all the way down to the, what was the 16-yard line? And there's the quarterback power. And just a great, great effort play by the quarterback, by the offensive line, by the lead blockers. And now we are entrenched in a 1-point game with 16:33 left in the national championship.
And now it's the matter of how this response will be from the Sun. St.Clair back-to-back touchdowns to close up the deficit. After being a 2-score game just minutes ago. This kickoff picked up around the 25. Brought down across the 30.
All right, so they changed it up. Instead of driving it deep, they just did a little bit of a pseudo moonshot. Not quite an onside range, but let's get the ball bouncing just a little bit. Let's not let them get ahead of steam. And it worked out because they've been averaging a little bit past the 35-yard line on each kickoff return. This time it's at the 33. Not much of a difference, but nonetheless, no threat of a big return there.
So we'll set up 1st and 10 from the 33. Fans getting riled up. They go straight to the turf.
And they try the little read option, and the quarterback, little bit of confusion. It looked like he wanted to pull that, but a little indecision here. So you'll see the mesh with Noah, and then he tries to pull it back, and fortunately, he's able to get that thing back because Anthony Adams was just waiting there. And now a 2nd down and long with this riled up crowd and this riled up defense.
2nd and 13 from the 30. 5 wide receiver look. Crozier steps back in the pocket. Throws, knocked away, incomplete. 3rd and long.
Really good blanket coverage there. Okanagan did a nice job of picking up the extra rusher. They gave the quarterback a chance to deliver a strike, but the timing of the defensive play, the receiver just was unable to hold on with a nice clean pocket, a good delivery. Hit him in the hands, but the timing, that was just better defense. Great throw by the quarterback. Receiver was ready to make a play, but the defender just made a better play.
Under 30 seconds to go in this 3rd quarter. And punted away, getting off just in time. No roughing the kicker as there was contact with the punter at the other side, but the Saints not able to get anywhere on the return with Lewis.
Again, just a simple boundary kick. They're on the right hash. They're going to kick it to the right side. And they were hoping for a right-hand turn out of bounds. It bounced to Ja'Vay Lewis. He barely picked. I think he may have got 3 yards in that exchange. But the Saints have the 45-yard line and the momentum with 10 seconds left in this quarter, in which might amount to the final play of this quarter. They do have that 1-point lead here. And the fans are just excited. You just sense the atmosphere here at Acumen Stadium.
1st and 10 for the last play of the quarter. Buzzer goes off. Soja keeps it himself. Runs it directly into the teeth of the offensive lineman. As MJ Doyle Marshall fall over on top of him for good measure. That ends the 3rd quarter of play. The St. Clair Saints pick up 2 big touchdowns with Maurice Soja on the ground. 23-22 after 3. Again, you're watching We Digital for coverage of the Canadian Bowl. Welcome back, everyone, to the ball game. 23-22. MJ Doyle Marshall now being checked out on the sideline after he went down after that last play. So for the 2nd time tonight, the train staff looked to check in on running back 24. But St. Clair able to rally the troops and take the lead to start this 4th quarter. They are up by 1, or the first lead for St. Clair on the night. Looks like more being checked out by the train staff of the situation. Soja throws it to France, breaks the tackle, gets across midfield for the 1st down.
And that, I think, is the first missed tackle in the open field by an Okanagan Sun defensive back. They have been fantastic. All credit to their players and their staff. But Darius France is an All-Canadian for a reason. He kept his balance, was able to turn it up the field, and now breach the Okanagan side of the field, and it's 1st and 10 at the 50-yard line.
David Lewis that time on the tackle attempt. 1st and 10 from that 50. Momentum in the hands of the Saints for now. They have Calhoun with it. Calhoun, nowhere to run. Loses yards for 2nd and long.
What a fast, reactive, decisive play by number 20 for the visitors. He read that jet sweep, and he just came up the field screaming and made a tackle for a 3.5, 4-yard loss, and that's number 20, Vicente Ferreira. What a tremendous play, and now this is that sort of challenge for the Saints. You've been running the ball real well. You got to protect and you got to exploit the middle of the field right now. If you're Maurice Soja, find the middle, 2 high safeties, find a deep in-cutting route.
2nd and 13 from center field. Trying to throw into the midst of a sea of traffic. Incomplete, nearly got picked off.
Yeah, they went for the home run, and they went for Darius France, and Darius it was covered. There was 3 or 4 bodies there. He let one go, putting his big arm on display, but that was destined for failure. It wouldn't have been terrible if it was intercepted because they would have had the ball at the 11-yard line. Would have been a punt in essence. That being said, now the punt team comes out.
Just about 2 minutes through this 4th quarter. Punted away by St. Kitts Park. Takes a bounce and rolls along the sideline.
That is the coffin corner, they call it, Justin. They get it inside the 10, and it took one final roll out of bounds at the 5.5-yard line. And here's where Okanagan needs their run game. They need some first downs because I suspect if they don't get anything and they have to punt on a 2-and-out situation, you're looking at the potential of conceding the safety and stretching this out to a field goal game.
1st and 10, this one from the 6. Setting things up, one receiver on the motion. Bring him to block. Trying to pitch it, dropped it, fumbled it away. And it's St.Clair on it again.
What a turn of events. Mistakes happening over and over, and this time it is deep in your own end zone, and now you have a 1st and goal at the 4-yard line, and I suspect unless there's a loss here, you'll see the snap mishandled by the quarterback right away, and you have Anthony Adams, your All-Canadian, 2nd-team defensive end, finds the ball at the 4-yard line. And this crowd again erupted. We're up here on the concourse level, and it's just shaking.
1st and goal from the 4. Blasco sent in as an extra blocker. Barella now the running back. Soja runs it in again. Touchdown, St.Clair. And yet again, it's Maurice Soja who punches it in. Momentum, St. Clair's.
100%. 7 points with the ensuing extra point, and now they've capitalized off the mistakes, Justin. As you alluded to when we opened, and you just see him, I'm running through this last player here into the end zone as the extra point is up, and the extra point is good, making it 30-22. You see in the replay. That is what you have to do. You have to pay off. You have to. When a team makes a mistake, you got to get them paid off with touchdowns. In the first half, they didn't do that. Okanagan found it. Now, we do have an injured player on the field, and it looks like it's the All-Canadian left tackle. Now, I don't know if he's cramping. The reaction is it's a cramp as you see them flexing the calf. So that's good news if that's all it is. He's getting this cramp here. He's all excited for his men, but you look at that athlete. That's an offensive lineman, but that is an athlete.
Golem Weber once again coming off the field there.
There's the replay, Justin. The defense coming up big and paying it off with quarterback power once again for the Major. 30-22, 12:20 left in the 115th edition of the CJFL National Championship.
St. Clair up by 8 as they're ready to kick it away. Coming up to 12 minutes to go in this Canadian Bowl. Turn from the 20 this time. And flags fly. Gage Parker drawing that on, looked to be maybe the face mask.
Yeah, but the flag started to come out before that happened, so I don't know. It could be it was a high tackle, but I did see it, what looked like an Okanagan player engage a little low on a block, and if that's the case, it's going back. Now, again, I'll wait for the call, but we got to see what.
Illegal block, pushing the rear. St. Clair, number 21. That's a 10-yard penalty and a first down.
Not a common call. You see a block in the back from the coverage unit. They're usually the ones trying to make the tackles, not the blocks. But it, obviously, I did not see. If the replay were to show it, that means a coverage guy pushed a guy out of his way in the back to try to make the tackle.
1st and 10 from the 41 when we get back going here. As there's Maurice Soja, 3 rushing touchdowns in the second half.
And you see Coach LaChanze just asking for a conference. He's just wondering what the call was. He just doesn't understand how one of his guys who's trying to cover the kick made a block. Nonetheless, you're engaged, you got the lead, your defense is playing great. Let's get on with this game.
1st and 10. Fake the handoff. They try and throw it. Not blown dead. It's picked up now. It's blown dead. It's incomplete.
And the pressure got there, and they force an incomplete pass. So close. I will agree. From my angle, it looked like the arm was going forward, and you're going to see as a quarterback sets, his arm was indeed going forward, and that is an incomplete pass. It was so close. We're talking a fraction of a second, because if that was a fraction of the second held onto, you're looking at a scoop and score.
Instead, it's 2nd and 10. Looking to pass. Crozier floats it. Looking. Sideline. Incomplete. That makes it 3rd and long.
And that's exactly what you want if you're the defense. Get them in that uncomfortable situation. I'm not saying they're not capable of throwing the ball. They are. But that's not how they've won games. They've won games with the ground and pound and forcing the team to just feel the weight of their offensive line and their running back. Great job by the defense.
So the punt unit back out once again, led by Hay. Hay gets it off. And down on one knee on the pickup. Got spotted at about 36-yard line for the return from Lewis.
And you can just tell from the reaction from Gervais, he's like, if I just could have kept my balance, I had at least 10 more yards. But job number one, catch the ball. And he did. Because we've already seen both teams mishandle a lot of punts. And now, this is what you want if you are the St. Clair Saints and your fans. You want a nice, you'll take an explosive touchdown, I get that. But if you can sustain and use what you've done all year long, 6, 7, 8 plays, maybe 4 or 5 first downs, take 6.5 minutes on and pay one off, that could be the difference.
So it's 1st and 10 from the 36. So Jump gives it to St. Kitts Park. Trying to get artsy with it. He sheds a man. throws it, tries to give it back to Soja, but incomplete.
Yeah, but you know what, all things considered, the fact that he actually had the wherewithal to come back and possibly even throw it, that could have been a 13, 14-yard loss. It's just an incomplete pass. You live to play another day, and it looks like just Gollum Blubber is down again. And that could have been a lot worse. And Soja was trying to get it, and you just see that it was Gollum Blubber jumping over, and it looks like his knee locked up a little bit on him. Oh, no, he's stretching out again. It's this cramp. You can just see.
Did try and jump over Soja so he didn't fall on top of him. But now, with under 11 minutes to go, we are on another injury stoppage.
Coach LaChance is not playing conservative. He tried. And I'm pretty confident that there was a two-way go of it. If St. Kitts Parks didn't have that initial presence, again, very disciplined. This defense is playing exceptionally disciplined on those wide-type run plays. There was probably a throw to be had to the call side if he had the run. But you'll just see a great job of getting up the field. And just literally would have been a tackle for about a 15, 16-yard loss. As it turns out, it's just an incompletion.
So Gollum Weber now being brought off the field.
Yeah, and you see Coach Morency, that's Matt, the junior statesman. He's there just checking on his guy. And while we have a second here, I guess we're going to say a congratulations to Coach Mike Morency,
yes,
who is now a life member of the CJFL. A wonderful honor for a man who's put 50 years in this area coaching and playing football.
One of those honored as part of the awards in the past few days. Soja, 2nd and 10. Finds France for the first.
It's so hard to defend that because it looks like the run. And they have come up and forced that. But then you're going to leave Darius France on a little comeback. And at which point in time, this is just backyard pitch and catch. I have no one near me. Catch the ball, step out of bounds, first down, drive keeps alive.
It's 1st and 10 from the 51 this time. Looking to go on Weber as he gets checked out again. Lewis sent on the motion. That look to keep it with Soja again. Trying to bounce around, picks up a couple.
Yeah, it didn't look like it was properly set. I think Maurice thought there might have been an option for a run or a handoff there. Then he realized there's no one next to him, and he just took it on his own. So it didn't look as rhythmical or as smooth as it had in previous runs.
2nd and 7. Ball spotted at the 54. Soja sets up with Barella. Is still the back. This time to send Barella out. They throw it to St. Kitts Park. St. Kitts Park has the first down. Finds a hole. Tries to break tackles. Brought down inside the 25.
Simple concept. Just stop in the soft zone, right? And you're going to throw a little flare. That's it. Stop. And now your blockers. You got bodies in the way. And I've said this all season long with these receiving core. They have been willing blockers, combatives. They've been for their teammates. They don't care if they always get the ball. Yes, they're receivers. They want the ball. But as soon as one of their other receivers, and it looks like we have a timeout on the field, and it looks like the Okanagan Sun have just used a timeout to settle their defense. And now it's about this offense. And you got the offense and you see Dr. Kemp there trying to give a little sideline adjustment to loosen up one of the players. But this is exactly what the St.Clair offense was all season long. Take what the defense gets you, get the ball to your athletes, and then they'll make you look great. That was maybe a total distance of a 8-9 yard throw. And it turns out to be a 28, 29-yard pickup. And now you're set up just outside the red zone with a chance to go up 2 scores with just over 9 minutes left in the final quarter of the national championship?
Yeah, big opportunity to blow this game open. And the officials right now discuss things with the St. Clair sideline here.
So now what they're saying is Gollum Welberg has to, he was attended to on the field, so he has to stay out a minimum of 3 plays. So they've had 2. This is the third of it all on a first down and 10 from the 21-yard line.
1st and 10. Shuffle 1, they move another. Soja looking to run outside. Spins ahead. Gets to about the 15-yard line this time.
And the weight of it, they're leaning on him. They're just using it, and that's a good pickup. That's 6 yards. So now they're imposing a little bit about that power, that speed. It's not in the conventional way with MJ Doyle Marshall right now, but it's in a manner that is super effective on those first downs, which we didn't see earlier in the game. They weren't winning first downs. They are winning first downs, and this Okanagan defense has been on the field an awful lot in this second half here because the offense has been unable to sustain any drives.
2nd and 4. Look to keep it. So just stepping up, across the 10, brought down inside the 10, marked for the 1st and goal.
Oh, and you just see, it looks like it's number 2. We'll get this on the replay, number 2 on number 2. This is one where he was looking to swat this ball, Mario Nami. You'll see on this replay, he's just tracking, and I'm about to swat right there. And good ball security as he was trying to jar that loose, but nonetheless, a 1st and goal at the 8.5-yard line.
About midway through this 4th quarter of play, coming up this play. They have MJ Doyle Marshall back in as the running back. Fake handoff, quick throw, end zone, touchdown!
A little read option. They're going to buy the running back, they're going to buy the quarterback keeper, and they throw the slant when the linebacker steps up. That RPO where the linebacker steps up, and Calhoun, who has not had his best game. He's had a couple mistakes. He's fumbled the ball, mishandled the punt. He steps up and he makes that catch when he was asked of. And now they've put this to 14 points right now with the ensuing extra point. And what a tremendous play. Great timing of the call, and there's the extra point. And I alluded to it, Justin. They only took 5 minutes. 5. I was hoping for 7, but they took 5 minutes off, and they got a 15-point lead right now. And this crowd, again, erupted. It's just shaking. It's electric. It's awesome. And now the offense has found their rhythm. The defense is building off. They're feeding off each other. Okanagan's going to have to do something. They're not as comfortable, at least statistically, the way the season played out. They're going to have to force the ball maybe a little bit more downfield because the clock is against them with 7:32.
And the question is, can they actually do that now? Student section going wild. The fans have been going wild throughout this entire late second half. Past 10 minutes or so have been a big twist in this ball game. Turn from inside the 15 this time. Parker trying to find places. Gets whistles blown after crossing the 30. 7:24 to go in this 4th quarter.
And remember, it was 22-9.
Yeah.
I believe that's what the score was when Okanagan put their last touchdown on the board, 22-9. And now you have this big turnaround, this offensive explosion here in the second half. And the defense has done their part. They forced a couple turnovers that led to scores.
1st and 10 from the 32. They look to throw it fast. They do. Moved ahead for just at the sticks for Walker. So a decent pickup by Walker for the 1st down.
I'll say this, I'm impressed. Like, there hasn't been a ton of pressure on the quarterback. There's been a couple hits on him. The offensive line and the running back has done a nice job. There was a little bit of pressure there. They wasn't overloaded. They didn't bring the entire house, but they've done enough to give the quarterback some time to throw, and he has thrown 3 touchdowns already.
1st and 10 from the 43 this time. This time, play action. Throwing off the back foot, complete. Nowhere to go for Burden. Gain of 1. 2nd down.
Yeah, that is just really, really good aggressive defense. It looked like he had some man coverage there on whoever was leaking out of the backfield on that action. And you see a linebacker stepping up and making a tackle, maintaining his responsibility. And now it's 2nd down and long. And with under 6 minutes, this might be 3-down territory.
2nd and 9. Ball spotted at the 44. Looking to throw. Crozier has a man, nearly intercepted. Tiskowitz on the breakup, tried to throw it deep to Walker.
That is great coverage. That is fantastic. And they took the shot. Good protection here. Offensive line does a nice job giving the quarterback, and he throws it. Maybe a little underthrown, but that is just good positioning. And the receiver had to play DB there to bat it away from that interception. So now we have a down player for the Saints. It's Mo Ibrahim, who looks like he too is cramping right now. Usually we see these in the August days, in the hot days where the dehydration kicks in, but this is multiple players, and there's been a couple on Okanagan who you see getting stretched out too. So with a punting situation here, I'm not necessarily critical of the call. You still have, it's Canadian football, 5 minutes, you have a timeout, the clock situation, it stops. I thought maybe they would consider going for it. It's got to be a 50-50 proposition, but you're putting it back on your defense that's been on the field an awful lot. The Saints now may have full control with a few first downs to put something away.
3rd and 9. Time now blown back in. Only one return man back for St. Clair. Punts it away from inside the 35. Lewis whiffs on it. Jumps back on top of it, though, at about the 25.
Whoa, we had a little side spin action on that. That ball was spinning away from him, and he reached for it, and it goes right through the wickets. But what a job at least jumping back on it, because Lord knows that would have been the play that was needed to get Okanagan right back into it and in a hurry. So now Okanagan needs to be 2 and out here. They can't afford to give up first downs, which means Okanagan may have to be a little more calculated in the risk. Increase the risk, exposes yourself, which means maybe you get man coverage and maybe you take a shot to put the final nail in the proverbial coffin.
1st and 10 from the 25. Soja throws it away. Incomplete.
Yeah, they were doing a throwback screen here. They sprint out to the right, but Okanagan did a fabulous job of taking that away. He took that away, and then Soja just was like, we're not going to take a sack here. He throws it away. The only downfall with that is the clock is stopping right now.
Stops at 5 minutes and 4 seconds to go.
And they're going to wind it back in at this point.
2nd and 10. Send 3 in the motion. Soja throws it quick, finds St. Kitts Park. St. Kitts Park gets it up for a first down. Just about pushed his way through France on top of it.
Yeah, but that's Darius France blocking, and that's what has to happen. Darius France does a job blocking. Javay Lewis does a job blocking. That was a ball thrown at the line of scrimmage, and this is what we've seen all year long from this offense. Throw it to them, and watch my guys blocking. They're just blocking, and then St. Kitts Park just says, look, I'm getting the first down. I have it. I'm where I need to be. And that's just tick-tock, tick-tock. One more first down, and they're going to be able to bring this easily under 2 minutes, and they're up 15.
First and 10 from the 44-yard line. And things off. A flag is down on the near side of the field.
Yeah, unfortunately, the Saints were offside. The Saints were offside, so they're going to now have to eat those 4-yard gain and back it up. It's going to be first and 15.
So just not happy.
Yeah, that was Jave Lewis, it looked like. They could decline it and not give him an extra down, but I suspect they're going to bring him back. They can't give him a gain. They got to take him back on this play. Here's the call.
Offside.
Discuss.
St. Clair, number 4, 5-yard penalty. Repeat first down.
All right, so repeating first down. Again, if it had it been maybe a 1-yard gain, I suspect they would have declined it, but they picked up almost 4. So you have to back them up here. First and 15. And this should be a steady diet of quarterback power. I just simply see my eyes take me to the point of your quarterback has done the heavy lifting most of the game. Let him try to pick up 7 or 8, maybe bust one.
First and 15 from the 39. Soja keeps it this time. Tries to get to the 40. Tackled at the 39 instead, right about the same spot.
Yeah, and that was Jacob Bond who he saw it. If I'm thinking that, he's thinking that. It's just he's a smart football player. He understands the game. And Coach LaChance isn't going to try to do anything too fancy here. He picked up about a yard, but the clock is now the thing. You're going to kill 20 more seconds here. I would suspect that Okanagan wants to hold on to that timeout just a little bit more. They don't want to use it quite yet.
Second and 14, they do give him the spot to the 40. Lewis directed to the far side, and flags fly.
Yeah, left tackle. Back up for Gollum Weber, number 63, moved early. So now you're going to back up, and at 2:59, I would think now we're in the 3.
Illegal procedure on the offense, number 63. It's a 5-yard penalty. Repeat second down.
And we are now in the 3-minute warning.
So down to the final stretch here as St. Clair tries to burn down clock to close out their first national title since 1999.
They have to reset the play clock here. It's already down to 6. They haven't even got the ready to play down, so they have to reset it. There they go. So here's the 3-minute warning.
Clock now goes. Second and 19.
And they're going to take the full play clock down, snap it with about 3.
Calhoun shuffles. There's the play clock. They go with 5. Soja trips, falls. That makes it 3rd and longer.
Yeah, and that's that knee he had hurt earlier. His right knee that he had hurt in the semifinal, and you just see the turf monster got him here. He stepped up, he's going to make the break, and you just see it buckle when he turned out, and he just, as a result, couldn't keep his balance.
And so, this is now coming in the final stretch of this one. Soja now being checked by the training staff. Gannett is the backup, remember. He's more than capable. We've seen him be a star in the CJFL, in the OFC final, rather.
Now, Okanagan, it doesn't look like they're electing to use their timeout, so you can take the full 20. You should be taking all of, and that doesn't make sense to me. I don't care what your rhythm is, you got to make him take that full 20 off, and he didn't there.
Parker gets to about the 49-yard line this time.
Yeah, that didn't make sense. They could have taken 10 more seconds off that clock and snapped it at around 3. They snapped it at 14. just little things. We've seen too many crazy things happen here. I don't want to ever take anything for granted, but I wish they would have taken a little bit more time off.
So it's 1st and 10 from the 49-yard line. 2:24 to go in the Canadian Bowl. Look at a pass, Crozier. Finds the man. Huge hit. Pops it loose after the catch. St.Clair has it on the scoop and the score.
And that might be the end of the 25-year drought. Putting it on, but we have a flag on the field. We have a flag on the far side of the field. So before we get and we got to get the call as to what exactly was happening here.
We have multiple players down with injuries as well.
So they try the hook and ladder. He caught it and they punch it out on. They were going for that little trickeration that St.Clair used early. So now if that is the call that's saw on the screen, this might not be a touchdown. It may be a turnover. It may be a blindside block or a peel back block. So, but I believe the turnover is going to stand.
Long walk back here. Here's the call.
After the fumble recovery, we have unnecessary roughness, blindside block, St.Clair number 9. That's a 15-yard penalty, first down.
So the important thing is the turnover stands, but they had the blindside block. So it's going to be St.Clair ball with 2 minutes left with their offense on the field with a 15-point lead. The score doesn't count, but the possession is what matters the most here for the home team. And I have to agree with the call. It was a blindside. He worked back towards his line of scrimmage, and that cannot happen. We already saw Okanagan flagged for that. So now you're going to have 2-12, one timeout for the visitors, effectively one first down, and you can get in victory formation.
Soja comes out of the huddle. We're going to close this out. 2:12 to go in this Canadian Bowl.
And so now they're sending out the quarterback for another play because of the injury. He was injured, and so now Matt Gannett has to come in to handle these next couple plays with 2:12 on the clock.
1st and 10 from the 50. Play clock now goes. Letting the play clock go down a fair bit here. The game clock not moving on that. Doyle Marshall gets a couple yards, gets just shy of center field. 2:07 to go now in the fourth. And the hardware is ready in the trophy cases and in the Pelican cases sideline for the celebration.
So now with 2:07, it looks like Jacob Bond, the all-Canadian linebacker, is taking a knee right on the crest, right on the shield here. And he's been worth it. He's made a whole boatload of tackles right now, and you hate to see one of the team's best players this late in the contest having to be escorted off the field, which means he's got to come out for 3 plays.
That's another star having injury troubles pop up here. Even the officials having to come in and assist. Drain staff.
Yeah,
rushing.
This doesn't look like a cramp. He looks like he can't really put much weight on his left leg here. So it's 2nd down and 5.5, 6. This first down here could be the difference. Either way, with 2 minutes and the clock's going to come down, this ball's going to be snapped with under a minute or around a minute 50 left in the game.
Clock now gets the signal. Soja back as the quarterback. Letting the clock tick, tick, tick away. Down to 5. Now send them in the motion. Soja runs ahead, has the first down.
And they go right behind their All-Canadians on the left side on the offensive line. And they say, we got this. We got this, men, and this is the recipe. This is the formula for championship ball. You take away the team's run. Okanagan led the country in rushing with that all-Canadian running back. He has been effectively eliminated from this game. Their 3 scores have been in the air. And St. Clair's offense, although quiet for much of the first half, if not all of the first half, has come out and taken over. With 1:33, I suspect one timeout will be used after this play, but they are almost in victory formation.
Soja keeps it. Tries to push ahead, gets to the 40, and a late flag. More flags fly with 1:21 to go.
Yeah. From my vantage point, it looked like he was pulled backwards. Now, it could have been somebody else in the equation there. But, yeah, it looked like we had somebody pulled backwards in there, so it is going to be a hold.
Holding, St. Clair, number 77. It's a 10-yard penalty. Repeat first down.
So it's a 10-yard penalty, repeat first down. However, the clock's going to stop right now, which is going to benefit Okanagan.
So we'll see what they do for 1st and 20 now. Stepping forward, Soja now hands it off Doyle Marshall. That at least gets the clock moving to line of scrimmage for 2nd and 20.
Okay, so we're in bounds here, and they aren't going to use it here, which is fine because they can only use it once. So they're going to let the 2nd down play happen, and then they'll use it on the next down here so that St. Clair can only take a maximum of the 20 seconds off on this play here. So I would suspect that, well, they're discussing what the situation on the clock is.
Stop the clock here.
But then they reset the clock to 20, which if I'm Okanagan, I'm going to be a little bit in question. Because I would want the play clock to be down to around 14 right now. I'm not sure what the discussion is. It's obviously a clock issue. Okay, so they got 1:16, which is fine. They put 5 more seconds on, which is what I thought about ran off when they reset the play clock. So now they're going to put it at 1:16. It's going to blow in 1:16, and the 20 will start at the same time on this 2nd down and long. So the Saints are going to be able to take this under a minute before this 2nd down snap.
So now they try and get in position here for 2nd and 20. St. Clair rallying in the 2nd half after struggling the 1st half. Tale of 2 halves, one of the major storylines of this ball game. Maurice Soja, 3 running touchdowns. He runs it this time for a gain of a couple, 53 seconds to go in the Canadian Bowl.
And I still haven't seen an indication for a timeout yet. I still haven't seen the indication. So, and it's in bounds, which means they don't have to snap this ball until, like if I'm St. Clair, I'm going to let this go all the way down to 34, and I'm going to take a timeout. I'm going to run the maximum off and not even line up because I'm assuming Okanagan's coming after this.
Now it's the matter
Timeout.
Oh,
Okanagan.
now the timeout has come. Now the timeout has come.
That's the last timeout of the half with 53 seconds to go.
So the offense was on the field for a split second. Now it looks like the punt unit is coming on.
But at this point, it would take a miracle from the Sun to close out 15 points in 53 seconds.
Well, no question. No question. But we've seen crazy stuff happen. I've watched enough sports. I've coached enough teams. I've seen enough happen. At this point in time, you literally aren't going to take anything for granted. You like a block kick here or something. You better have everybody up front, everybody up tight. You better be in a perfect scenario. And if you don't like the numbers, you better call a timeout and make sure your numbers are there.
Third down, St. Kitts Park to punt. 53 seconds to go in this championship game. St. Kitts Park gets it away. Bounced around, and there's the no yards flag,
and
the first
who
of the day.
cares? Exactly. Let him fall on it. He was wasting time letting that thing dribble and drub. That's fine. In the exchange, the 10 seconds went off the clock, which is fantastic. And now you're going to be up 5 yards at the 28-yard line. As long as they don't go vertical and they don't get something in a hurry, that's it. With 43, no timeouts left on the clock, 42.6 to be exact.
Yeah, it's going to require a big play
No
to
yards.
say the very
5-yard
least.
penalty against St.Clair, number 19. First down.
So 42.6 seconds to go, 1st and 10, ball spotted at the 30. The Sun need a big play, and they need it now. Setting up shotgun. Crozier hops, throws, incomplete.
Two guys were looking to see, are you going to get it? Are we going to get it? Are you going to get it? Are we going to get it?
Well, Coach Deshaun's got the Gatorade bath with 37 seconds to go still.
Well, again, you said there's a miracle. The sideline, they're trusting their defense. They're just looking at the numbers game. The analytics in today's day and age is just saying that that's the right thing. But look, you got 12 guys on the field, but really only 4 anywhere near the line of scrimmage. Everyone's going to be out and off. And Okanagan's in an illegal formation here. They have no end on the line of scrimmage there.
No flag thrown. So time continues to tick. Noah gets a catch, but it's 3rd down with 30 seconds left.
And now the sideline, and there's Maurice Soja. There's your all-star, second-team All-Canadian. There's your guy who has been absolutely phenomenal all season long. And I know there were some early calls in the stands. They were asking for Matt Gannett to come in. Matt Gannett helped win a conference championship. That is outstanding. He had a phenomenal campaign that game. But Coach LaChance he's said this a few times, this is a generational athlete. And they went with their generational athlete, and it's paid dividends because I'm pretty sure he had over 100 yards rushing, had a couple hundred yards passing.
And now, with under 30 seconds to go, this could be the ball game. Crozier, bobbled, caught by Noah. This keeps the game going at least, but only 19 seconds to go.
And
at this point, the Saints sideline still focused on the celebration.
Yeah, and Justin, that's it. Like the clock's going to start as soon as the referee blows it in, and that's all she's going to write here at Acumen Stadium. As after 25 years, Coach LaChance and the St.Clair Saints have now put another national championship in there. Oh my goodness.
Nearly picked.
It would have been just that interception that's needed to finish it off so they can bring their quarterback out for that kneel down. That best play you could possibly have. Victory formation. Nonetheless, 11 and a half seconds. Everything's done except for the score clock. Everything's done except for the score clock. And for me, I'm so proud of Coach LaChance. He has been at it for all of these years. He's been here. He's played in national semis and national finals. Now is the time for the national championship to be attached to his name as the last few seconds wind down. We have one more play. One more. And this score was 22-9. And now the national championship is back in Windsor.
This to close it out. The Sun not going to be able to get enough points here. This to close the game. Crozier steps up in the pocket, scrambles ahead to end the ball game, tries to pitch it. Noah picks it up, gets brought down for the first time since 1999. The Canadian ball goes to the Saints.
Congratulations to Coach LaChance and his entire staff into the Ontario Football Conference, who has come under the doubt of a lot of teams. And now at 37-22, a national championship is back in Ontario on the 25th year since the last time this conference has won. And again, congratulations to the entire organization with Coach LaChance at the top of that list.
The Ontario drought ends in elation. The St. Clair Saints pick up a national title. And the celebration is on. St. Clair already seeing Maurice Soja once those with the honors offensive player of the game per the notes. You also throw in Jacob Bond, who had some stellar defensive play as the top player defensively for Okanagan. But also St. Kitts Park coming in as a punter, having some spectacular punts after what was, to start the game, a tough game special teams wise with so many trouble spots in the punt game. But in the end, St. Clair rallies, gets the momentum, gets the chance to pick up the hardware for 2024. Again, your final score, 37-22. The St. Clair Saints get ready to get themselves some hardware. In a bit, Dominic Papa will be standing by field side, part of the celebration. Able to get the comments from players down at the field level. Ontario hadn't won the national championship since 1999.
Thank you to St. Clair College for hosting the 2024 CJFL Canadian Bowl.
29. History.
We will award the
itself.
players of the game and along with the national trophy in mere moments.
Getting in position to be able to celebrate the St. Clair Saints.
We're going to get both teams to line up.
Getting the command that they have to line up along with the Okanagan
Both teams
Sun,
on the 45-yard line.
Get the trophy presentation underway. Again, a momentous occasion for the St. Clair Saints. And a momentous, historical day. Originally, the first time it was broken through, 45 years was the drought. This time, 25 years broken today.
Congratulations to both teams here tonight. Congratulations to the BC Conference champion Okanagan Sun on a terrific season. And of course, congratulations to the Ontario Conference champion St. Clair Saints, who will in mere moments be awarded the Canadian Bowl. But first, we have to announce the players of the game. And first, we will start with the special teams player of the game, presented by BC Conference President Tyler McLaren. The special teams player of the game from the St. Clair Saints, number 8, Cameron St. Kitts Park. Congratulations, Cameron. Next, we will have the Defensive Player of the Game, presented by the Prairie Conference President, Randy O'Shaughnessy. From the Okanagan Sun, number 19, Jacob Bond is the Defensive Player of the Game. Congratulations, Jacob. And the Offensive Player of the Game, presented by the Ontario Conference President, Darren Coquetto. The Offensive Player of the Game from the St. Clair Saints, number 2, Maurice Soja. Congratulations, Maurice. And now we'll call upon the CJFL Commissioner Jim Pankovich and Deputy Commissioner Paul Short. And we ask the St. Clair Saint captains to come over to the table. The captains of the St. Clair Saints.
Okay. Hey, good job, Mike. There we go.
Look out, guys. Look out.
Gentlemen, on behalf of the Canadian Junior Football League, I want to congratulate you on the 2024 Canadian Bowl champion, St. Clair Saints. Congratulations.
Once again, St.
For
Clair's...
the first time since 1999, a team from the Ontario Conference are Canadian Bowl champions. Thank you, St. Clair. Thank you for a great Canadian Bowl festival all weekend long. We'll see you in 2025.
Once again, Ryan Waters, part of that celebration on the PA. The St. Clair Saints once again picking up their first national title since 1999. This was the turning point. This quick pass deflected at the line, intercepted by Billy Patterson Jr. all the way in towards the red zone. And from there, Maurice Soja putting up 3 rushing touchdowns, as well as a passing touchdown to rally St. Clair's offense with the momentum. Plays like this one from St. Kitts Park, helping blow the game wide open. See St. Clair pick up the W. This was the exclamation point from Ty Calhoun to be able to give St. Clair the advantage they had.
Check.
But in the end, here's Dominic Papa.
Hey fans, I got the head coach here, Mike Lachance. Coach Lachance, long time to wait for this, but you got it done. Got to love the effort here tonight. What did you think overall, and how proud are you of these guys?
I'm really proud because everybody said we couldn't do it, and we did it. Literally everybody said we couldn't do it, and we did it. And the thing is, we had a lot of adversity today. The offense wasn't scoring right away. The defense held us in until the offense could get our feet under us. So these kids went in at halftime. I went to talk to a few of them, and it was outstanding confidence. Just basically, coach, trust us. We trust you. We'll win this game.
Was there a turning point in the game, Coach? You were knocking on the door in the first half. You had your chances, didn't get it into the end zone. Obviously, it happened in the second half, but what changed, and was there a turning point?
You know what? I think number 9, Anthony Adams, really took the game over late. He took it over late in the third quarter, early in the fourth. He actually told me he was going to take the game over, and he did. To me, that's the best defensive player in the country. And he took the game over when we needed it. And then on offense, I relied on number 2. I just looked him in the eye, and he was confident and said, "Coach, give me the ball, and we'll win this one."
How about the fans? Look they're still here. Look at the fans here, Coach. How good were they tonight?
Yeah, the St. Clair College fans are the best fans in the country. This crowd is the best home field advantage you can get. Okanagan, when they were doing good, you could hear their crowd, but it didn't even come in comparison to what we had. And this is the first of many. We're not giving this thing back anytime soon.
Coach, go enjoy this one. Congratulations. Head coach Mike Lachance of the St. Clair Saints. What a job. Where's my camera? All right. Cam St. Kitts Park. How good does this one feel?
Feels amazing. We were slept on all year. Ontario wasn't nothing, and we just proved it. We just proved this is ours. This is us.
What a defensive effort by the team. Talk to me about your defense, your play. That was a hell of an offense on that Okanagan sign. You guys held them to 22 points. How did you do it?
Well, all year the defense has been playing amazing, and it's just another game, and they did their thing.
This championship was a long time coming, 25 years. It took 25 years, and I mean, now you're a part of history. They can never take this away from you. What's that mean to you?
It means amazing to be a part of this organization, this team. I can't be thankful for these coaches, and we did it. This is us 25 years, and we made it happen.
Okay, go get in a picture. Congratulations. A lot of excitement down here, folks.
It's picture time for the St. Clair Saints. A phenomenal atmosphere, phenomenal fan base, phenomenal matchup, and a phenomenal second half that gets it done here today. These memories will last for a lifetime, just as they have from the 1999 squad. For 2024, this is a chance to be able to build a dynasty. Celebrations continue field side for the 2024 Canadian Bowl champions. Absolute swarm of parents, of coaches, family members to join in on the celebration. Somewhere in the sea of all these celebrations is Don Papa. Break through the crowd as he continues on. Post-game coverage field side. Discuss more in a moment. St. Clair, who's up on top for this banner. Let's go back towards Don Papa. The next moment or so, he's getting ready field side for more. As the rest of this celebration continues. Chance to be able to showcase what you've done with the trophy is one of the big things, part of these celebrations here tonight. Remember, after 1999's championship, 2000, Okanagan ended up actually winning the national title that respective year. A lot of teams, though, once they break through, build dynasties. The Saskatoon Hilltops won 5-6 in a row at one point in the last decade. Could this potentially be a dynasty in the making? After years of OFC excellence from St. Clair. Here's Dom.
All right, you're at field level again. Been waiting for a long time to do this with you, Coach. Like 38 years worth.
Yeah, I've been waiting since 1983 for one of these, and finally put it together. And boy, we're really proud of the kids' effort tonight, and hung in. They scored really quick, and a lot of people might say, "Oh, here we go again," and we just stayed cool. We didn't make any mistakes. We hung in there. A couple of mistakes near the end of end of the first half that hurt us a bit. We went into halftime, and I said, "Are they the better team?" And our guys went, "No." And I said, "Would you mind playing like it?" And I think I was a dominant second half before it. Absolutely dominant. We even had good coverage with a long touchdown pass. Nate Tiskowitz was right there. That happens. But, man, we shut them down in the second half.
The running back, the star running back on Okanagan, I mean, he's a great player, but you guys did a job.
What did he get? You know what he got?
I don't know what he got yet.
He didn't get 100.
He didn't get a lot, though.
He didn't get 100. I told him last night he was getting 50 at the banquet.
Well, you might have won that bet too, Coach, but how key was that?
It's the key to their whole team. You got to get them in second down the line because passing isn't what they do best. They run the ball real well with a real physical offensive line. And outside of that one early drive where they gashed us 2 open gaps, so we made mistakes, we played really, really hard. And I'm really proud of the kids, their effort and everything else. They worked hard for this. They really worked their rear ends off, so really appreciate it.
You mentioned it, Coach, about, in that first half, I thought the team played well. They just didn't get the job. Almost kind of shot themselves in the foot a couple of times.
Yeah, we had maybe 6 kind of big plays. Twice, not too many men in the field. We fumbled 2 punts, and we were our own worst enemy. It wasn't that bad of us, but it was 15-6, so, we were still in the mix. And we had great resiliency. We hung in and did a real, real good job, so pretty proud of those guys.
This started years ago, putting this together and getting to this, but I know I talked to you after last year, after Regina, and you mentioned, we had to get bigger, had to pick up a couple of other key kind of players. Obviously that happened. I mean, the size of the team this year was a big factor, and I think it really played a big difference here.
We're extremely athletic right now. We're as athletic as the teams that used to beat us, and that sometimes wasn't the case. Our defensive line was outstanding tonight. Just so they dominated. Anthony Adams was just a force to be reckoned with. He was creating havoc at every turn and did a real, real good job. So it was a great team effort. The offense started clicking in the second half. The line started coming off the ball. MJ had some big runs. Great team effort. Great team effort.
How much of this was a learning curve? Each year you're knocking on the door and you're there and you're close.
I told the guys, I said, hey, we've tapped lightly on the championship door the last 2 years. And then I said, I want to kick that door down this year. I said, let's kick it down. It's finally our time to get the job done. And we did. We got the lead. We hung on to it. We played better down the stretch, and we deserve to win.
How you celebrate this, Coach?
I got to watch my grandson's championship PB game at 10 o'clock here tomorrow. I'll be sleeping in the dressing room when I come out for that game at 10.
Coach, I love this. Congratulations. You deserve it.
You've been here for this long trip, brother, since 1983. You've been with us, and boy, we appreciate your support, that's for sure. You've been a wonderful guy.
I love it.
Glad you got one too, brother.
I love it. I can go away quietly now, so appreciate it, though, Coach.
Thanks, Tom.
Enjoy this one, okay?
Appreciate it, buddy.
Awesome. Coach Mike Morency, doing a great job. I need this guy right here. Oh, my God, is this guy ever dynamic? Maurice Soja. Oh, we're going to do – okay. Sure, let's do it. Okay.
Best duo in the league.
Maurice Soja, of course, MVP tonight, MJ Doyle Marshall. We saw what this guy means to the team. First of all, Maurice, you came here to win a championship. You accomplished that tonight.
100%.
How does that feel?
It feels like everything we talked about, everything we wished for, everything we worked for, everything led up to the moment right now, and that's all I can do is be grateful for it.
MJ, of course, you got back in the lineup like Maurice did, and boy, it couldn't come at a better time. Playing in this game and winning it, how special is that?
It's special. It's very special. We were working all year for this, and now we got it. That's all. Now we're championship.
Yeah, they can never take that away from you guys, that's for sure.
Yep.
Coach Morency just talked about halftime. You guys talked about it. You were down 15-6, I believe it was. But boy, you had your chances. Did you know you guys were close, and did you still feel the same confidence?
The game wasn't over.
Yeah, 100%. We never lost our confidence. I mean, we knew it wasn't going to be easy. They're a great team just like we are. Things wasn't going to go the way we wanted to every time we went to halftime and said, we're moving the ball, let's just finish. And as soon as we started rolling, it was hard to stop us from there.
Second half team.
Well, I'd say a four-quarter team actually.
Oh,
Pretty good. Not to take away your mojo here, MJ, but I like this four-quarter team. Speaking of that, were you surprised at all at how dominant you were here tonight? I mean, that is a great football team.
Not at all. I knew my bros were going to do the job.
Not even a little bit. Not even a little bit.
I guess how good was practice this week and confidence going into it? What'd you guys do?
We felt it. From yesterday through walkthroughs, everyone felt it. Everyone had the energy, and we knew we were going to come out here and compete.
The last 2 weeks, we all been focused. We know it was the last two we was going to have together. We know we had to put it all on the wall, so that's what we did.
All right. Go enjoy this, guys. Congratulations. You're Canadian Bowl champions. They can't take it away from you. Great job. Thank you for doing a great job. Of course, Maurice Soja and MJ Doyle Marshall, yes, they're going to celebrate tonight for sure.
Pumped up.
Video Quas, of course, our color commentator, the doctor of football. You know, I know you picked St. Clair in our pool tonight. I picked St. Clair in our pool tonight. There was just something special here. You felt that was building and coming into it. Even tonight, you just knew that everything was in place.
I really did. I had a good feeling simply because the defensive tackles, the defensive line was so good all year long. And the eyeball test was just enough for me. I didn't matter what the competition was. They never played down to it in the conference. They always played up to it. So I thought the Okanagan Sun were going to have their hands full with that defense. And yeah, the first two plays in the first drive of the game for Okanagan looked like, okay, it's Okanagan, they're going to run the ball. They just couldn't. And the teams that can stop the run, and then at the end of the game, the teams that can control the line of scrimmage, which is what that offense did, it was 22-9 at one point. And then the Saints rattled off, with the help, of course, some turnovers, 28 points to put this thing away. And that's exactly the formula. You run the ball, you take care of the line of scrimmage, and in the second half, they took care of the ball. And now, Coach LaChance and his entire staff and his entire team, so proud of him, are national champions.
And you know, you speak of the OFC, we've heard it all year, you know, the league wasn't that good. Well, obviously, this makes a statement here tonight.
It really does, because everyone wants to say the league. Yeah, maybe top to bottom. Of course, every league has some teams that aren't all that good. But at some point, you have to actually look at the team. And this team, it reminds me of the progress that happened the last time this national championship. 96, AKO went to Oshawa, lost to Saskatoon. 97, we lost to Regina after having a 3-touchdown score. 98, we battled injury, went to Okanagan and lost. They built it up to the point where 99, we won against Okanagan here. The pedigree was evolved. They went, they lost to Okanagan here in the national semifinal, a game they, for 8 minutes, if they didn't have those 8 minutes, could very well have won. Last year, a tough go of it, but that experience turned it into a championship today, and they've evolved, and the coaches learned, and the players learned, and what a phenomenal job.
All right. You did a phenomenal job, as always. Thanks for all your efforts with We Digital, and you're the football doctor, no doubt about it.
Thank you very much.
Video Quas, I need to get Ron Segan in here, of course. Ron was instrumental in getting this team here to St. Clair. He was the one that, when the stadium was put together, he said, we need a team. So he went and got the AKO Fratman. And
got a good team, didn't we?
Yeah, you got a pretty good team, but obviously it was a work in progress. You knew the team was going in a good direction, though, Ron.
Yeah, it's a long road to get here, and then you got to play the West.
Yeah.
And then that's a different road, right? And I can't say enough about the work ethic of Mike LaChance and Mike Morency and that crew of coaches. And then the kids got to execute, and they executed, and they had a tough first half, but man, what a second half. And this is St. Clair College's 10th national championship.
Yeah, it's becoming quite the habit, a good habit at that. Really impressed, Ron, away from the football game, really impressed how Saints Nation has arrived. You look at the stands tonight, the electricity that was here. Yeah. It's here, and everybody's buying in here.
It's a fun place to be right now. I mean, it was electric tonight, and the weather was perfect, and I'm thrilled. I don't know what to tell you. I'm thrilled. I'm just thrilled.
Quite a day for the college, Ron. 2 national championships being hosted. You win one. The cross-country team, a nice effort, a good showing today. This is St. Clair's really setting the bar really high here.
Yeah, you know what? You're given the opportunity to change young people's lives, and how many memories did we create tonight? And our cross-country team worked really, really hard. Our athletic department's exhausted, but like you, we're TV,
a little tired too, yeah.
This is what we love to do. And you know, we got a pretty good marketing guy in John Fairley that really pushed this game for us too. So
No, he got the crowd here.
yeah, you're gonna get me babbling all night, but this is wonderful. This is everything we wanted.
Don't babble too much. Go enjoy this.
All right.
Celebrate. Congrats on this, Mr.
And
Segan.
to We TV, I know you do way more than you should, and we love you for it.
We're fine.
Okay,
We're good.
man.
We're
Thanks,
good. Ron Segan, the outgoing vice president, actually. Of course, he's retiring shortly. So, you know what? We're going to call it a night. Crew is tired. I know that. We've had a long day. 2 national championships, a great football game. We're tired. But what a way to end the night, though. A national championship. This one was a long time coming. 25 years we had to wait for this, but we got it done. I want to thank my We Digital crew, an outstanding effort today. I want to thank the St. Clair Saints Athletic Department. Of course, the partnership with them is outstanding. We love it. And a thank you to the fans that were here. They were outstanding. And until next season, hopefully we get to do all this again. But until now, we're going to say goodnight. Enjoy, everybody. Take care.